10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Look at what in my opinion, one of the best goalkeepers right now.
We need you to think you're going to be playing against. So they want
I'm a little bit worried for tomorrow's game. I saw a stat online.
Sergio
Production has a bit of a wasted stat in the world.
You cannot play up and down. That is the second. We only have two men now in the
I know people have gone on about if we lose Lukaku, it could be a bit of a situation. I hope it's got it
Sergio
done.
Production.
Yo, welcome to the Blue Lounge, welcome to the stream. Guys, today has been plagued with technical issues. Loads of technical issues, and for that I apologize, and that is why the stream is a little bit late. It's actually 10 minutes late. That's the latest we've ever been. So again, I apologize for being late. Apologize for keeping you waiting. But it is. Hopefully we can make it up to you with the stream. Hopefully we'll be having a fun stream tonight. Tonight's stream is a Q&A. So basically we're going to be discussing issues and stories that are currently making the headlines as per your questions. We'll be addressing the latest topics as we normally do, but the final hour of the stream, we'll have an open stream with you guys to come in and give us your thoughts and opinions on all that we've discussed and all the latest stories. So, without further ado, let's say hello to the people in the chat. Abdul B, big up to you. Usam, always a pleasure. Big up to you, my man. Football style. Who else is in here? Bauer. Got a bone to pick with you, Bauer. You think I'm a hypocrite, huh? Thank you. I thought my position was clear. But I guess you think less of me. So thank you, Bauer. Appreciate you. Have a good one. CJ. Big up to CJ. Hello. Good to see you here. I want to know how to pronounce this name. Big up.
D-Stretch 81.
Is it D-Stretch or is it D-Stretch? I don't know.
D-Stretch, man. Come on.
Really? You think so? I don't know.
D-Stretch, man.
I don't know. DJ Sav, big up to you. Welcome to the stream. Chris, always a pleasure. I want to see what questions Chris is going to come up with today. And today we're going to have the picking tool where we pick people and give them an opportunity to ask their questions. So, yeah, Elias, big up to you. Bobby, always a pleasure. All right, big up to everyone. Podfather, big up to my man Podfather. The Chelsea show, the best Chelsea show on YouTube returns. Thank you. Big up. How do you pronounce this name again, Couch? Is it?
Dog.
D-Stretch.
So simple. Read. D-Stretch, man. D-Stretch 81.
Yeah, man.
The man.
Spot on. D-Stretch. As in D-Stretch. All right. Couch Critic, big up to you. Welcome to the stream. Max Burton, big up to you. Welcome to the stream. How you guys doing?
Pretty good over here. How you doing, Max?
I'm good, especially that Wolves have just scored against Man United. It's made it better.
Sue.
All right. Listen, before we get into this, some good news today regarding Thiago Silva. Definitely good to have him sign his extension. I didn't think he'd be here this long when he first signed, but he has proven to be a fantastic addition to the squad, a fantastic addition to the team, and a great person to have in the club. Professional, role model, and he plays like he's been here since the academy days. You know, the motivation he has, even within his household, they love Chelsea and Chelsea loves them. So I'm really happy to see him stay on for another year. One of the best pieces of news that we've seen over the past few days. Hopefully we will see more good news coming up. Apparently there's been talks today in respect to how Romelu Lukaku has been feeling and how Romelu Lukaku has been addressing some of the reaction that he saw in respect to the interview. It seems like he was not expecting the backlash that he has got. He was not expecting the attention that came with what he said and with that interview, which proves that this was a very badly timed interview on his behalf, a decision that was made without the guidance and the counsel of those in the know. A decision that he made.
It proves that.
Couch, let me finish my statement.
Yeah, sure.
A decision that was made hastily. Therefore, we need to look at the way that the club is approaching this, and it seems like the club is approaching this in a damage limitations methodology. From what I understand, Romelu Lukaku participated in training today. Romelu Lukaku had a discussion today, and I think we are going to move forward. We are going to minimize the damage, minimize the effects of the ill-formed interview that was taken by Lukaku, and we will try to move forward in a way where it is productive for the club, for the team. Because let's not forget, this is a massive investment made by Chelsea, and this investment is yet to bear fruit. So we have to try to minimize the damage and not to exaggerate it. What he did is wrong. What he did is something that us as fans will take a long time to forgive. But it's up to him, and it's in his hands. Just as he pushed us away from him, it's in his hands to redeem himself and to prove to us that it was really a mistake, and he does not feel the way that it's perceived that he feels, if that is the case. So that is in regards to Romelu Lukaku. That is in regards to the news today. Apparently, Andreas Christensen is still changing agents, he's now settled with a new agency, because I knew that he pushed away his former representative, and he has moved to a new representation. Let's see what happens in regards to the contract extension. Also regarding Rudiger, there was links with him and Real Madrid. This has been disputed now with Real Madrid not so keen or not so able. So let's see what happens in respect to the other centre-backs. Let's see what happens in respect to Azpilicueta and his Barcelona deal. There is a lot that will be made apparent and will be clarified in the next few days. I am working on bringing in some journalists in this in this month to provide you with an insight. I'm working with Andreas Christensen to sort out some interviews with journalists here on the stream, and hopefully we'll get some insight in respect to what is going on. And if you want to catch that, if you want to be part of that, all you got to do is subscribe to the Blue Lounge, and you will have access to that. So, big up to you all. Bobby and Boogeyman have joined the stream. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me? Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear Boogie. How you doing, Bobby?
Yeah, I'm good. Interesting
All right.
teams. But
Interesting.
simple solutions. Things don't have
Bobby,
to be complicated, really.
Yeah. It doesn't. True. Yeah.
But if there's a complicated route to take, Chelsea and their fans will gladly embrace it.
It's the way we do things, unfortunately. All right. Let me switch screen. All right. Now, lads in the chat. I am going to do what we did in the last Q&A. And that is to ask you to type in a word. I'll let Couch Critic choose a word. Couch, choose a word.
Let's go with
Lukaku.
Let's go with unity.
Unity. Let's go with Lukaku. Okay, so guys in the chat, I'm gonna. What is this? I don't have a mouse today. So things are going to be a little bit rough when it comes to transitions and all kinds of technical things in the stream. So I do apologize for that in advance. Do me a favor. In the chat, type the word hashtag Lukaku. No, you need to put the hashtag first. So hashtag Lukaku in the chat. And if you're selected, you will be chosen to ask a question. So hashtag Lukaku in the chat. What do you guys think about the story regarding Thiago Silva, boys? What's your thoughts on that signing, guys?
Yeah, great news for me. What we've seen this season is that he's got another season left in him easily because he makes the game look so effortless, and he doesn't need. When you look at a central defender, a lot of them people say some people lack pace or whatever, but like with what we had with John Terry before, if you've got awareness and you can read the game well, you don't need to be the quickest, And what he does, as I said, he just makes the game look effortless, and his passing is very good as well. He gets us on the front foot with his passing. And I just feel that it'll be good for the youngsters coming in, especially if Rudiger moves. If Rudiger moves and we get Levi Colwell or some of the other youngsters in there, we need a bit of an experienced players in there. And there's no one more experienced than him to marshal in the young troops.
True. Boogeyman, you're playing ping pong. Just keep the mic muted while you're playing ping pong to stop the audio issues. You misspelt Lukaku, so you haven't been registered. You have to put a U in there. All right, put a U in there, and you'll be registered because you're not registered at the moment. Lukaku out. Curious what will happen with Lukaku. All right, that's going to be our first super chat. So it's a question. Guys, what do you think will be happening with Lukaku after what we've seen, what we've heard so far?
I don't think much is going to happen, to be honest with you guys. I think they're just going to fine him. They're going to probably suspend him for maybe another game. but then it's business as usual. Like, this is a big time investment. It's not to the point where, the situation is untenable and they have to get rid of him right now. I don't think that it's gotten to that point. It's just now we have to, just treat him like any other player that would be at the club. He's not this special case anymore. He's not this, prodigal son coming home. It's none of that. It's just another mercenary at the club. And what we need him to do is just get up and running, score some goals for us. End of story. There's nothing more to say about it. He won't be transferred. That's for sure. Not until the summer, at least. Lukaku, that winner. This guy really has something to say. Okay, I want to hear this. Okay, but I don't have much more to say about it. I just think that he's going to be suspended and he's going to have to pay a fine, and then he's going to come back into the squad. And if he doesn't score goals, the supporters are going to get on him.
Okay. Lukaku out. You have another question. You are entitled to a free super chat on our behalf. So set us up with your next question in the chat while we continue answering this one. So Lukaku out is the winner of the free super chat. All right, Max, do you agree that resolving this issue quickly and Tuchel did say, he did mention the word noise a lot. And he also said that he doesn't feel directly or personally disrespected by the interview. Do you think that this can be resolved quite easily and quite quickly, Max? What's your thoughts?
Well, I saw some pictures just a minute ago. Sorry, I'm just a bit elated because Wolves have just won. But anyway, going back to this one, I saw some pictures of him training today, and it looked amicable amongst them. So we haven't heard anything yet as the outcome of what this meeting was. True. But we can take the easy route of not easy because we've got Tottenham, then we've got Chesterfield. If he's missing for two more games, the Chesterfield game and the Tottenham game will be the ones to miss out on because they're not affecting our league status. So they want to suspend him for the 2 games, bring him back into the fold for the second leg of the Tottenham game, possibly. Then, yeah. But yeah, the quicker this is resolved, the quicker we can get back down to business of playing football. I just don't want it lingering on and rumours, because you're already seeing rumours from different camps. And what I would say is don't read anything from Italian press, because the Italian press like to stir the pot a bit, and you're hearing stuff about he wants out of the club as soon as possible, and because of what the noise going around, people are believing all that. I just feel that, as I said, he was naive, and he really should be looking at his advisors. And I don't think he consulted his advisors, but if he did, then he's got to be looking at them, because this was just it was meant with good intentions, I think, to the Inter Milan fans, but it didn't go well with them. It didn't go well with us. So I just think hopefully he's learnt his lesson. He just now shuts up, plays his football, and just lets his football on the pitch do the talk. Yeah, so I just think the quicker it can be resolved and put to bed, then yeah, as the saying goes, yesterday's news is tomorrow's chip paper. So let's say that's the case.
Yeah, especially back in the day, that was the only way you can get your chips was in the newspaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember them days. Yeah. All right, let me hear from Boogeyman and Bobby on this Lukaku situation moving forward.
Yeah, sorry. I think my network is I'm not home anyway, so I'm somewhere. So that's why the network will not be properly. If you don't hear me, just let me know, and I'll reset it again. Anyways,
you're good.
I just think there is a chance for Lukaku to stay, but I think the club will be looking for any chance to get rid of him at this point, because for me, of course, Lukaku has all the right to say whatever he wants, and you have to be really strong-minded to like all those things that he didn't get the allowance from or the authorization from his agent or Chelsea, all those things. Me, I don't see that as a problem, and But I think Chelsea will do everything they can to get rid of him as soon as they get a chance. If they can recoup something out of it, that's what they're going to do, because there's too much noise saying that's who he is. It's all about me. He needs too much attention. I don't think Chelsea is a club. Chelsea as a club is not going to offer him all those guarantee where he's just going to be the god of the team now. I don't think he will get it at Chelsea. He has to compete for in any position, because all managers at Chelsea are under pressure anyway, so no manager is going to guarantee him anything. So I think Chelsea will find any reason to get rid of him as soon as the chance is there. So that's my point.
Okay. DJ Sav has just sent me this tweet from Absolute Chelsea via Sky Sports. Romelu Lukaku now believes it was a mistake to do the interview and should not have made the comments he did. Okay.
Do I comment
Just
now?
comment on that real quick.
Yes, you can. Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead. Let me hear from Bobby Couch.
Sure.
I think we're all on different timelines, because I've categorically heard that the club have come out with a statement about this, and that Lukaku is not going to be sold in January. Neither is he going to be sold in
summer.
In the summer. That's the agreement of both camps. Now, I think we give too much. We tend to think these players are more intelligent than they are. Let's be real here. Yes, Lukaku speaks 9 different languages. Fine, that's brilliant. To some people, that's more of a gift than a level of intelligence. But his ego, which is why he's a striker, because I believe if you're going to be a world-class striker, you have to have a bit of ego about you. But his ego leads to, excessive childish behavior. And I don't think he often engages his brain before he engages his mouth. And this is clearly that situation. Now, Lukaku trained today. My suspicion is he plays on Wednesday. He's an investment. He's an expensive asset. There's no reason for him not to play. He's met with Tuchel. And yes, nobody's happy with what he's done, but nobody's going to kill him for what he's done either. He needs to. First of all, I would appreciate an apology from him, and even if he does or he doesn't, his answer has to come on the pitch. That's where the club is looking at, for him to be scoring the goals he's been brought in to score. I'm not sure anybody's particularly interested in flogging this dead horse any further. The guy's not that smart. If he was that smart, he wouldn't have given the interview. He's done it now. I believe him when it is rumored that he said, look, he wasn't sure, that this would cause this much raucous, and that, he knows now that it was a mistake. That to me is the truth. I think he is reactionary. I think he is emotional. I don't think he's that smart. And it's just a mistake that he and, we tend to remember, maybe some of you guys here are close to his age, but to me, somebody that's 28 years old is still quite young. It's a full-grown adult, but can still make a few mistakes here and there. And that's exactly what this guy has done.
Yeah, no, spot on. Go on, Couch, let me hear what you got to say about this. Couch, you want to come back?
The moment's gone, but I was just going to say, it's just a quick quib just about this guy's, his PR degree and whatnot. You guys like, how are you surprised? How are you surprised by the backlash if you have a degree in PR? Like, where did he get that degree from? Like Rock Nation or something like that? Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, no. It doesn't make sense on many levels. It does not make sense on many levels. MDT, welcome to the stream. How are you? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, Mo. Thanks for having me. How are you doing, Max, Couch, Boogie, and Bobby? How are you? I hope everybody's okay.
Evening, MDT. You sound a bit better, MDT.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. The throat is well. It's just that I'm having this episode of headache. Like they come in doses. I will have it for
You know what? I would recheck that test kit that you used, man, because you got all the symptoms, all the signs are there, man.
Is it? Because I've done how do you call it? I'm doing another test tomorrow because of at my local stop, because that's what I keep saying. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, because I've done the test a couple of times now. It's not positive, but I don't understand. Normally, when I have throat infection, it goes within 3-4 days, and now it's just the headache. The headache keep coming, and then they will go, and then I will sleep it off, and it just messed up with my whole sleeping pattern right now. I don't even know. Sometimes I'm awake at 1, and then I will fall asleep at 3, and then wake up again at 6. So it's like it's all over the place.
And somebody sent me something saying that there is a new multivariant out there, which on record has affected 16 people. So who knows?
Hopefully, it's not as serious. It's not as serious. I mean,
no, I think it's boogeyman. I think it's boogeyman. Those juju men from
all I want is boogeyman to put his mic on mute when he's playing table tennis, man. Just put your mic on mute.
No. I'm not playing table tennis. I'm in the garage working out.
Oh, okay, you're working out. Because I had ping pong in the background.
It's those juju people that boogeyman sent from Ouagadougou. They're the one after me.
People in the chat. People in the chat.
Is what?
Hold on, boogeyman. People in the chat. Hashtag CFC. We will be drawing the winner for the next question. Hashtag CFC. So if you want to submit a question, hashtag CFC. Go on. Talk about the juju.
Boogie, can you stop telling your juju people that I apologize now? Leave me alone.
You know, Bobby does not understand what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure Carp does not understand what you're talking about. Max, I don't think Max understands what you're talking about.
I understand. Listen, I'm well travelled and well, I know.
Oh, okay, good. Then I told you.
But I bet both Max and Bobby knows why you think they don't understand. Come on, they live in London. It's a multicultural city.
Okay, good.
Sorry guys. I miss what you guys were talking about. There's something I just want to say about all this Lukaku thing. When it's my turn, I will just speak about it just briefly.
It's your turn right now. Take it away. Yeah,
for me, now he's done what he did, and I know he was stupid to think like, I didn't think the backlash or whatever, because in Belgium the thing is he was trying to please the Inter fan. For me, that's not even more disappointing, because Inter fan, why do you want to please people? Those are the same fans that told you to when you were racially abused, they told you to suck it up. It's not a big deal. I don't understand why would somebody go. To be honest, that's the thing that even more baffling. So why try to please people, whatever? And also people go on about this. Inter Milan needed almost 200 million euro. That's why they were gonna sell somebody. So they were never gonna give you a new contract because they don't have the money, and they were always gonna sell you Lautaro, Hakimi, and also even Christian Eriksen having that episode helped them financially because it cut his wages off their books. So they were always gonna sell. I don't understand why he's kissing up to their behind. It's so baffling. But all that anyway, I don't. It doesn't interest me because I don't want to go through his mind. It's none of my business. But the other thing is, I think this thing people are talking about, this has been happening in football forever. Luis Suarez told all of his teammates he wants out of Liverpool, including everybody knew. Steven Gerrard, when they begged him to stay for one more year, he wanted out to join Arsenal. Okay, so they fixed it, and he helped them finish second that season, if I'm not mistaken, second or in the Champions League position. Okay, Steven Gerrard himself handing a transfer request, told all of his teammates, board members, and everybody, I want to join Chelsea. I don't see my future at Liverpool. Okay, and it was a mess, and Jamie Carragher and Liverpool fans threatened him that they're gonna burn his house if he leaves. and then
the
he back
mafia,
off.
the Liverpool mafia was he
Yeah.
going to?
So this been happening. That's why yesterday I was happy when Jamie Carragher come out and say, hang on a sec, this is not a big deal. I know for fans it's a big deal and the media is whatever. This been happening. And Craig Burley, the way he left Chelsea, Bobby, you can remember when he fell out with Ruud Gullit, he went helter-skelter to get to Celtic. Okay,
MDT timeout for 2 seconds. MDT timeout for 2 seconds. Abdul B, put your question in the chat. It's your turn. So let me have a question from Abdul B. If I don't get one in the next 60 seconds, I will draw again. So MDT, continue, my brother.
Yeah, this has been happening in football since time. And also you have somebody like Paolo Di Canio. Paolo Di Canio left Juventus because they told him that, okay, you're going to fight with Roberto Baggio. It cost it all, whatever. And all these people that did the same thing Lukaku did, or even worse, because they went to their teammate or whatever. They're the one now criticizing Lukaku. Forgot that they did it. They did worse in their time. So what Lukaku did is wrong. But what Lukaku did is wrong. But the thing is, right now, for me, I'm not interested in all whatever. What I'm interested in, make sure that he score his goal. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else. For me, my relationship is transactional. It's only transactional. For me, it's Chelsea to succeed. That's all I care about.
Yeah, MDT, give me the example of those people that say something bad about their previous club. Giroud didn't say.
One second, Boogie. Yeah. 1 second, Boogie. We have a question. We have a question from Abdul B. Yeah. And this, hey, it's Q&A, mate. It's Q&A. You're going to get questions.
Oh, yeah.
Abdul B is asking, do you think Lukaku wants, and he's putting capitals, out of Chelsea? Do you think that is what he really wants? So take it away, boys. Go on, Boogie. You can start this
I don't think no one can answer with assertive. There's a no or the yes. The fact is, he was not happy. And I'm not sure if the option were given to him at that time when he was doing that press conference. I don't know what decision he will make. Because at that time, he keeps saying he's not happy, but he will try to be professional. What does that even mean? And he pointed out all the options that he had before. And the only reason why he came to Chelsea is because Chelsea came when Inter cannot extend his contract. So at that time, when he was doing the press conference, the interview with Sky Italia, I don't know what will be the answer if the chance was given to him. So I don't think anybody here should say yes or no because he's stupid or he's not that smart or he's no. I don't know. As a Chelsea fan, I'm not sure.
I'll say yes or no, and the answer is no. He doesn't want to leave Chelsea. He's just acting like the kid he is. He's acting very childishly, spitting his dummy out because he missed 4 games. In truth, he knows Inter fans that the ultras don't really want him anyway. They're already putting up banners saying, "If you can't be with us in the storm, don't come and join us when it's raining." So let's not kid ourselves. He spat his dummy out out because he missed a couple of games when he wasn't fit to play. He doesn't think deeply. He's not intelligent. When people lack depth of thought, they react and they just speak off the top of their heads. He went and called a press conference because of his own ego and thought he could do that to challenge the manager. He's been shut down. End of. It's happened before, and it will happen again.
Sorry, Max.
One second. Julius, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day, mate. How are you?
Thanks, Mo. I'm good. Sorry, I'm late. I was at the doctor.
How you feeling? You feeling better?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do some checkups.
All right.
It's fine, hopefully.
All right. I'm actually going to change your name for today. I'm not going to call you Julius. I'm going to call you Nostradamus. You good with that? All right. Listen, guys. We're going to draw the next question. But who was speaking? I think it was Boogeyman who was speaking. Correct?
Yeah.
Boogeyman was.
I just want to
continue.
I wanted to ask Bobby. So when Steven Gerrard did the same thing, when all those examples that MDT has put out, are all those people are they not smart? Are they childish? No.
No,
They want
Boogie,
out.
No,
Yeah.
you've got to take the
Boogie.
circumstances and the
Boogie is different. It's
Of course
different.
Oh, now it is
It's
different.
different.
It is different.
You know why? Bobby is right. It's different.
It is different.
To be honest, somebody spitting their dummy out
Oh God.
because they don't have
sorry,
their
guys,
way.
I need to move a little, but
Okay.
keep going more.
Yeah, Bobby is right. When somebody is spitting out their dummy because they don't have their way, that's stupid. That's kid-like behavior. Okay, but those other people, they want it out because they say that team is not ambitious or good enough for them. Okay, so those are the two different.
4 months into a contract. They had
Yes.
served
So
their
Lukaku is
teams.
acting like a kid.
All
But
right,
those other
boys,
people, they want it out to win. They
Boys,
want it out
boys.
to go to another club to win.
next question is in. Guys, keep the conversation running, but focus on the questions that are going to be coming in by the chat. Wissam Football Style is asking, do you guys think Lukaku might play the Tottenham match if the meeting today is resolved? If the meeting today is resolved, if so, do you think when he starts the match, when he starts the Chelsea match, when he starts the match, you need to use commas, man. The Chelsea fans will boo at him. Should he apologise to the fans? All right. So will he start against Tottenham?
Yes.
Will the Chelsea fans boo him?
Maybe.
Should he apologise?
Yes.
Take it away, Bobby.
Yes, he will start
will never
because
start.
we need to get him fit. Will the Chelsea fans boo him? Maybe. Personally, I wouldn't, but I know that there are some fans out there that are still hurt by what he's done. What was the third question?
Would he play on Wednesday?
Yes, I think he will. He needs.
Should he apologise?
I think he should apologise as well.
All right. Who else wants to jump in on this?
Yeah, from the fans' reaction, I think it's going to be mixed. You know, some fans will boo him. Not everyone's going to boo him, because I've seen people do a lot just as bad, and they get mixed reaction. Remember JT as well. He was sort of toying with Man City at one stage to get a bigger contract.
Yeah.
Because he didn't actually come out and say that he didn't want to join them. He was kind of... There was noise around that one for a few weeks before in the end he did get a bigger contract. So as I said, no matter what your loyalties are to the club, sometimes at the end of the day, footballers, they think about themselves first and their selves only. As long as us fans remember that, then we wouldn't be too emotional when things like this happen. Because I've separated myself from the player. I'm more interested in the club. That's why I don't have any agendas for or against any particular player. As long as our team is winning, that's what I'm more concerned about. If he may play, it depends if he's had a good meeting with Tuchel today, and Tuchel brings him back into the folds, then he may play, or he may be on the bench even. Because the side that played against Liverpool, I think they probably deserve a start. So if he comes off the bench or whatever, so we'll see and see what his reaction is. But I think, whatever. So it's interesting as well actually, because Fabrizio Romano just tweeted something, and he's saying how Tuchel will announce his decision tomorrow. So I don't know what that means. So
I don't think Lukaku will start the Tottenham game for a simple reason. The whole situation is still fresh, and we don't want fans to boo him. I think they will give him a proper ban. It will be 2 or 3 match a ban, because I don't think we are still chasing the EPL or anything. We're just going to manage the top 4, and I don't think we need to bring him back just to upset half of the fans. So when it comes to is Lukaku, what was the other question? Is he going to issue an apology or not? I think, for what I understood by listening to radios or even reading some stuff on the Twitter, it will upset more fans if he's come and say, unless he say, okay, yeah, I believe what I said, but it was wrong to putting them out there, and I shouldn't be going to Sky Italia and just expressing myself. But if he say, "Oh, what I said, I didn't mean it," then it become another issue. So we'll just keep going.
Guys, I want to ask you, and Boogie, you can start this. But did you hear the press conference by Conte and how he addressed both his return to Stamford Bridge and the Lukaku story? Did you guys hear it? Did you watch it? Anybody watch it?
I watch it.
You watch it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Brilliant. Fantastic. I want you guys to tell me, do you think Conte handled that well? Yes or no?
Yes.
Quick answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you? Because I have seen people going on what some journalists have quoted Conte to say, and blown it well out of proportion, because Conte did not say anything about Romelu Lukaku apart from he plays for another club, and he had fondness for him, or he has fondness for him. Now that is all Conte said. He plays for another club, and I don't want to talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Other journalists are reporting that he acknowledged his situation. He was sympathetic to his situation, but he plays for another club. He didn't even say anything to allude to that. It's interpretation. Also, I have to say this. The way that he talked about the club, even though the journalist was pushing him in a different direction, was very, very what's the word here? Appreciated, respectful and appreciated by a Chelsea fan, because one of the journalists said to him, you don't really have any friends at Chelsea. All the players that used to play under you have gone. The only person left is Azpilicueta. That's the way the journalist phrased the question, and he said to him, I have many friends over there. So don't try to take this tie away, this connection that I have away by asking me stupid questions. I have this connection. Yes, I'm managing Tottenham now. We had problems with Chelsea, his contract and whatnot. But he didn't even go to any of that. He said, I have friends there. I'm looking forward to being back there. He showed respect. So pleased about that. Before we continue, let me just take this question off the screen. I keep using the mouse. I'll take this question off the screen. Guys, type in CFC in the chat to register for the next question. Type CFC in the chat to register for the next question. All right, continue, boys. Continue.
Yeah, more. What was I gonna say? I think that journalists must have been boogeyman in disguise. You never know.
Why me, man?
Antonio Conte won the Premier League title, won the FA Cup 1 year, and was runner-up the other year. Of course, he's going to have some fondness for Chelsea. He's part of our history. Okay, he's with another club, but he's left his mark, and he's not going to disrespect us. Not even Mourinho, with all his foolishness, really overstepped the mark with Chelsea.
Yeah, just to put it out there, I don't
CJ, enter your question in the chat. Enter your question in the chat as I block Boogie from my channel. Enter your question in the chat as I block Boogie from.
Sorry, Mo. Boogie, why don't you like Conte? Why don't you like Conte?
His last year, I was frustrated with him, and he drove me crazy, and I've never forgive me since. So I just, especially the fact that we lost Costa. And all those,
don't blame Conte for Costa.
Yeah, okay. I think I came to my conclusion, and
but what about if your conclusion is one-sided? And you don't have to make conclusion because of how you feel. You gotta go with the facts. Feeling is not reality.
But MDP, one thing he did do, which wasn't professional, I don't think he.
Thank you.
He was sulking. He was sulking a bit. Not
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who was?
If Boogie goes there, okay, what Conte, like Conte's attitude towards the ball.
Wait. He was talking when? In the interview?
No.
Chelsea.
Because he didn't get the players they wanted.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. That's what he does at
Correct.
clubs.
Correct.
When he doesn't get the people he wants, he sulks, and that's not professional.
Okay, Boogie, this Costa thing, people blame Conte for. You know when he started with Mourinho. When we won the title, Costa always wanted to go back to Spain in general. Okay, when Mourinho gave them that holiday, Costa went to Brazil. He came back overweight. Mourinho wasn't happy with him from then, and that's César Ravel. Okay, then Conte came in. We won the league. Whilst we were winning the league, he had an offer from China, which is a life-changing offer. He told everybody
after we won the league. Yeah. He had the offer close to the end of the season.
No, I'm talking about
one second, guys.
The fallout.
One second, guys.
At the end of the season.
One second. CJ does not have a question. CJ said he is unhappy with Lukaku, and the quicker Lukaku is out of the club, the better. He wanted to make that position clear. Kawasi, your question.
Can I just ask CJ a question?
One second. Kawasi, please enter your question in the chat, and we will address it for you. Go ahead, Max.
I'm just saying, if you made a mistake, would you like everyone just to write you off and whatever? Obviously you made a big mistake, but I'm a man who gives people second chances, okay? Because we've all made mistakes in our lives. I've made mistakes in my life, and I want people to forgive me for it. So, it's just, and I keep saying to people, a lot of us who are there moaned about Lukaku. Yesterday, I tweeted something. When, Pulisic, when he missed that chance yesterday, the amount of abuse fans gave him for missing that chance. It wasn't a case of, what do you think he's doing? I just saw abuse, terrible abuse for him. So the thing is, us as supporters, we need to be mindful as well. When we're doing similar sort of things to what we're accusing Lukaku of being. We're accusing him of being disrespectful. So what we need to do, we need to be respectful to our players as well. So we can't have double standards by disrespecting our players in a really abusive manner.
All right.
Max, can I ask a quick question, Max? Please.
Boogie. This is Q&A. This is Q&A. So I'll give the priority to the questions we have in the chat. So we have a question here from Kawasi. Kawasi is asking. He says, if Tuchel wins the League Cup and the Club World Cup and also finishes top 4, will it be considered a successful season? I'll let you go first, Boogie.
That is more than successful for me. Chelsea has to play Champions League every year. If we are in top 4, Tuchel has to stay at Chelsea. Of course, someone will probably quote me saying in a few months ago that if we don't win the league, Tuchel will have to go out. I mean, I'll change my expectations, and if we manage to get the top 4 and win any cup on top of it, then I have no problem with Tuchel giving another chance to bring this team together or do something with them next season or go after whatever trophy he won next season. So for me, it's more than a good season for Chelsea.
All right. Who else wants to take a crack at this?
I would like to.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Julius.
I think it would be a great season. Looking at the circumstances we've been through and all the injuries and the drama behind the scenes, it would be a fantastic season, because you have to consider as well that we also won the Super Cup, and so ending the season with 3 trophies is amazing. And I also want to add one more thing about the Lukaku thing that CJ said earlier. I think what benefits the club is to put this past us as fans. He's at the end of the day still a Chelsea player. We have 18 or 17 games left in the season, just league-wise. Not considering other competitions. And we want to, at the end of the day, we want him to score goals. We want him to succeed regardless of his statement. Obviously, it was annoying and it showed so much about him as a person. But I don't care about that as a fan. I want him to succeed and score goals, and we will forget about it. Prove everyone wrong, and do your talking on the pitch, and people will forget it over time.
All right.
Right. Can I step in as well?
Yep.
This season, obviously, it was about us getting closer to Liverpool, Manchester City and Liverpool. Remember, we were 30 odd points behind Man City last season, and it was just because of our fantastic the way we began the season, and that people were putting us in for a fight for the title, and I still think we would have been close to challenging for the title had we had better circumstances with injuries and refereeing decisions, etc. Where I think Manchester City have had a lot of the breaks this year. Everything's gone for them, whereas Chelsea and Liverpool to some extent, things have gone against those two other clubs who are challenging. So if we can get within 10 points of Manchester City this season, then I believe next season, with the players a bit more experienced, and if a lot of them stay together, getting used to the Tuchel system, then we will be able to put in a proper challenge. Because remember, like Liverpool, they finished the season close to Manchester City. Then the season after, they went on to win the league. We got to be in the race still, just so that the guys can get a taste of what it feels to be challenging for the title. A couple of cups along the way won't help. But would be a good thing for us as well. So he's done enough anyway. I think, even if we didn't win a cup, I think the way that he's shown his managerial in adversity, the way he dealt with the Lukaku situation, I think he's done enough to keep his job anyway. And I don't want to see us chopping and changing. I want to see him getting in a couple of players, because remember, he's only brought one player in. I want to see him getting in a few more of his players and the board to back him, but with the players that he needs. And then we'll probably see like a even better Tuchel next season.
Can I just make a comment about this stuff? I don't.
I'll let you catch. I'll let you catch. Just 1 second, guys. We are literally 8 subscribers away from 9K. 8 subscribers away from 9K. If you're watching the stream and you're enjoying it, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button as well as the like button. Let's get to 9K by the end of the stream or before the end of the stream. Couch, continue, my man. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, not at all. I was just going to put a little sidebar on this, because we've been talking about Tuchel's contract for a while now, and like the fact that he's only the perception was that he only has 18 months. He was only given 18 months, but after winning the Champions League, they renewed him for an extra 2 years, right? So he's now signed through 2023, I believe, all of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. But what I wanted to say was, there's a lot of talk of Tuchel losing his job for certain reasons, this, that, and the other, the board fires at Lille. Like, who's to say that at the end of his contract, that's not him that wants to go and find greener pastures? That he's not the one that just looks at the situation and is like, well, you know what, this is probably not exactly what I intended it to be. I expected to, have a squad that, number one, wanted to play for me. I'm speaking specifically of the Lukaku situation and whatnot, and how people have characterized it as he's going to basically get Thomas Tuchel fired. And I'm thinking, well, for me, Thomas Tuchel is in a position right now where he's in the driver's seat in terms of like this whole Chelsea situation. Any more turmoil around this club right now, the manager trying to sack the manager is not. It's just not on. It's just not going to work for this club anymore, So they don't have the resources to, chop and change the way we used to, and rebuild the squad for another manager. So I'm thinking that Thomas Tuchel's got us by the short and curlies, and we almost have to like give him more control than most perceive it to be right now. I don't think that he's going to be fired for any sort of like player power at this point.
Just 1 second, Boogeyman, please keep your mic on mute when you're not talking, because there's a lot of background noise in the place you're at. Guys, I'm waiting for a question from Amar. So 10 seconds left, Amar. If you don't put a question, I will have to send. I'll have to repick another question. Couch, I agree with you. Can I ask a question? Hold on. Couch, I agree with you. I think the situation is gonna be like this for a little bit, because Tuchel, for me, he is building, he is in charge, but he's also not established yet. Winning the Champions League last season did give him a good foundation, but I think one thing that we've lacked at Chelsea, and I envy United, I envy Liverpool, I envy City, I envy Arsenal previously, for being able to have managers that will stay for a little while and put faith in their managers. Chelsea, we have a different recipe when it comes to success. It has worked for us. We have had a lot of success in a very short period of time, but at the same time, I am one who wants to see a bit of stability when it comes to our manager, and Tuchel is the one that I want to give that stability to, and I think he can build on that. MDT, go ahead, mate.
Yeah, this is a question to all of you guys. Yesterday, is it yesterday? Yes, yesterday when we played Liverpool, the way our midfield was more energetic than the control possession. I don't know for you guys, but for me, I prefer this energetic midfield, because if we did play like this against most of the teams we draw against, we would have won. I mean, like with the amount of energy that was exerted. I know we had injured players, but do you guys think when we play in these teams that like to play with energy, if we match them with the energy instead of control possession, I enjoy the energetic, like the full throttle against Liverpool than the control possession we normally do. What do you guys think?
I would agree
guys,
with you, but I don't know.
answer the question, but answer it in a summarized manner, because I want to give Ammar his question. So go ahead.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
I'll be quick.
But I just think it's dependent on the match. Like that Liverpool match, that midfield was terrible. Like they had so many old legs in there, and they weren't very combative, to be honest with you, other than maybe a bit of Fabinho. But, there's going to be matches where you just want to have control. And I think that Jorginho plays a role in controlling the match for us. This match, I didn't think that we just bossed the midfield. We were just like, it was a helter-skelter game up and down the entire match. And that favors us because we have more energy in the midfield. But you try and play that style against somebody like, I don't know, even Brighton the other day. I don't know if that would have been as successful, because they have the same sort of energy and they have combative midfielders as well. So, yeah, I agree with you, but I think it's just horses for courses.
Yeah, if we play that system against a team that's set down, they will just counter us and splat. The goal that Mo Salah scored, Conte was exposed. So it depends. Against Liverpool, I understand that we have to match their energy from the beginning to show them we are here to win the game also. But I think if it's against any low block team, Kante, Kovacic can get exposed faster. So that's why you need someone just to sit there and just take the tempo. But again, we need to, even if Jorginho is playing, we need to at least start shooting from outside or taking our chances also.
But you mentioned Jorginho there against Brighton. He was getting, as they say in American football, he was getting sacked time and time again in that game. And so I think if the other two had played against Brighton, I think it would have probably been a different outcome, to be honest.
All right.
He wasn't controlling anything, was he?
Let me address this question by Ammar. We will have a lot of time to discuss our own topics, but let's give the chat their opportunity. Ammar K is asking, buying Lukaku over Haaland, biggest mistake in our history. Just to save money, we would have made it back winging the league. We had 5 points clear without a striker in December. So Ammar believes that had we have got Haaland, we would have been in a better position, and we could be in a lot better position where we are now than where we are now. Do you guys agree, disagree? Give me your thoughts.
Listen, I don't know why it's not a mistake. We've tried and we failed to get Haaland, so we couldn't get Haaland last season anyway. And we don't know with Haaland. As I said, he's coming from a different league. Who's to say that he'll have settled and started scoring goals? There's no guarantee that he's going to be scoring goals for us. And he's another one who talks out of turn. So you think Lukaku? Have you seen some of Haaland's interviews as well? If Haaland, he had a go at his teammates the other day when he wasn't happy with publicly had a go at his teammates. Go and check it in Bundesliga when they played. I can't remember who they played against, but he was saying how the performance from some of his teammates wasn't acceptable as well. So you know what, the grass can always be greener on the other side. And as I said, we don't know the question. That's the answer. Because someone's got guaranteed success in one league doesn't mean they're going to get guaranteed success in another league. Haller, look at Haller, the one from. Remember we played against him when he played for Eintracht Frankfurt. He scored lots of goals in Germany. Came to West Ham, didn't do anything. he's in Holland now, scoring lots of goals. And there's a lot of cases like that. I know Haaland. I know people are saying he's got a world-class player, but he would have had to hit the ground running, but we just don't. He's not. Nobody's guaranteed to come into our league and hit it off from the off. Not to say that he'll be an investment for the future and he'll come good, but we just don't know if he would have made a difference this season. That's my opinion.
Sure. Anybody else wants to take a crack at this? No? All right, we'll move on.
Well, sorry, just quickly wanted to
Sorry,
say
can
that
I just
even
ask
still,
Amar? Sorry, Coach. Amar said
Yeah,
we
no.
could have brought Haaland, we chose not to. That's not true. If you can give me evidence to prove otherwise, let me know. From what I know is that we went in, unless we were going to pay 160 million, the release clause of there wasn't even a release clause, was it? There was something of 150 million pounds muted, but we just don't know if that was true, because then Dortmund went and said we want him for another season, so we're going to keep him. That's what they said. So I don't think we're ever in for him.
Yeah, and Bobby, can I just add one last thing? Is Chelsea fans just forgot that we just published our annual revenue. You saw the state of our finances. So do you even think that it was possible to do that deal?
But that was not the question, right? The question is, if we were to buy Haaland instead of Lukaku, can someone post the question again, please? Because that's not a question. We're not talking about the.
No, I
financial
answered
side
the
of
question. No, I was just answering the question about. He said we could have had him if we wanted to, but we chose not to. That's what I was addressing. Yeah.
Okay, good. Next.
MBT, you called me, although I didn't actually say anything. Yeah, in terms of our finances, if I can just add, a lot of those figures, you cannot omit the huge financial investment Chelsea made to the community during the pandemic. The overspend on giving free food, free accommodation to workers for months has definitely got to be part of those figures. So don't forget that. And I don't think anybody should be allowed to forget Chelsea's contribution to the community during a very, very difficult period of time.
All right, we're changing the word because I think a lot of people who typed in CFC have left the stream. So the new word is #Tuchel. If you guys want to register for a question, type in #Tuchel, and we will be drawing the next question in a moment. Once I have 7 or 8 entries, we will draw the question. So type in #Tuchel if you want to answer or if you want to ask a question. Listen, the whole thing about Erling Haaland, it was not a mistake. I don't understand why people think it was a mistake by the club not to sign Haaland, because again, we did try to sign him. The aim was to sign him. The first target was Haaland. We weren't able to sign him because of certain financial restrictions, financial barriers that were put in place by his camp. They made it difficult for Chelsea to sign Haaland. Mino Raiola, his agent, his father, and even Dortmund were not accepting the bids that Chelsea was putting forward. So we were not able to sign Erling Haaland in the last transfer window unless we wanted to do something crazy. And Chelsea were not prepared to do that because of the climate we're in, the financial climate we're in. So had we have signed Haaland and had he have not been as successful as we had anticipated, we would be in a bigger problem, in a bigger hole than we are right now with Lukaku because of what he has done. And you can expect that from Haaland's camp. Maybe not Haaland himself, but you can expect something of that nature from his camp. And the thing is, with Lukaku, at least we have history with the guy. We have a connection with the guy. We can solve any issues we have with him. We can come to an agreement. But with Mino Raiola, it might have been a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, Mo, can you just address...
Nick, one second. Nick Blue, you have a space between the hashtag and Tuchel. You need to do it without a space. Sorry, Max, you were saying?
No, I'm saying, can you just address Amar as well, because he keeps going on about this 160 million pounds if we bought him by that time, we either been ours. But can you just address him about the wages and things like that? How much the camp was asking for?
160 was never the figure. The figure was closer to a quarter of a billion, to actually sign him, with the agent fees, with the salary, with the payments to his father, and the payments to Dortmund, and the signing on fee. It was close to £250 million. So it was never 130, 160. It was a hell of a lot more than that. Wally Waldo, you're spot on, mate. It was at least that. All right, let me
Mo,
draw.
please, can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please. I really want to say this because
sure.
I've been listening to Darmesh and Kave on Sky Sports, and they've been talking quite extensively all day about the Lukaku situation, and indeed they spoke. They kind of broke the news about what the Chelsea camp have said, and the fact that he's in training. And look, everybody really wants to move on, even the Lukaku camp. Now they've come with another angle, which particularly interests me because I do a lot of things in this sort of area sometimes as well. And they mentioned the state of mind of Lukaku when he gave that interview. People underestimate a lot of these things. The guy had just come out of a COVID isolation situation, or was about to go into it. He had had injuries. He had been in and out of the team. That he really wasn't feeling good about himself. Now, all of us, we're all different. Look at all of us on this panel. We're all very different, and different people have different thresholds. I just think he lashed out. He's a childish kind of guy. He saw something that he felt would help him feel better about himself, and he lashed out. And I'm quite prepared for him to issue an apology even for that. Just like Max, I think sometimes we get bogged down in too much unforgiveness. This isn't that big a deal. He's here at Chelsea to perform on the pitch. And really, if he's prepared to do that, I think we should all move on. If anyone can get this Kave and Darmesh commentary on the transfer centre, I think it'll be quite interesting viewing.
No, I haven't seen it, Bobby, but I understand it, and I agree with it to a certain degree. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, he was, recovering from an injury. I think it was before his COVID situation. No, I don't think it was after, because it was 3 weeks ago, and he's literally just come back. So I think it was before. He had COVID. Maybe the Italian journalist gave him COVID. I have no idea. Maybe, I don't know. But
you're right. It was before.
So,
but,
it was before. But the premise is the same. We make mistakes. We learn from them. We move forward. I for one want to see him apologize. That wouldn't be enough for me. But what would be enough for me is if he apologizes and puts in the performances on the pitch. Then I could reconsider my stance in respect to what he has said, and decide whether or not he's sincere. Because if he's sincere, he'd want to prove that on the pitch for us fans. And I'd be happy to go from there. All right, guys, the stream will be changing format in a few moments. This is the last question we're taking via the chat. After this, I'm going to open the stream to you guys in the chat, where you'll be able to jump on and ask your questions or give me your comments directly on stream. So the last question of this portion of the Q&A is by Elias Ibrahim, and Elias is asking, Is Havertz a flop? Let me hear your opinions, guys, on this particular narrative, because it's been discussed a lot.
First on this one?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
No, he's not a flop. The guy is only 21, 22. Sometimes people are not patient. Okay, this is why I was worried about spending so much money on a young, talented person, because people expect them to be microwave ready. It's not a flop. The thing is, there are things in his game that he will have to develop, which will come. But because of the fee, nobody will be patient. This is the worry that I have. Each time Pulisic misses a chance, or Cho or Mount, it's like I'm looking at my young self, or it's like I get worried for them, because this is the thing. It's not a flop. It will come good. But the thing is, are we patient enough? Are we gonna let them grow? Because when Salah was here, we call him a flop as well. He used to miss those chances that he's scoring now. So sometimes just a year or two will make a big difference in a young player's whatever. What they need now is support from the fans, unconditional support. These young players need. If you give them that, and they know that if someone is scared to miss a chance, they're going to miss anyway. Our young forward, that's what happened. As soon as they face the defenders or goalkeeper, they get worried about missing more than scoring. So the reason why is because of the pressure and the abuse and the abuse, especially the abuse online. They acting them on everything. So it's not a flop. It will come good. Just support your players. You see, in 2 years, in a year, next year, I believe next year, all of this forward, the young ones, we will see a different players if we support them.
Can I just say something real quick? I don't think he's a flop, but at a certain point, it's not about how much potential you have. It's about how hard you work. And for me right now, his biggest downfall is he's too thin. He can't hold up the ball. Like he needs to work in the gym. He needs to put on about 10 pounds of muscle. Like, let's just be honest here. Like, he's a waif out there right now. You see him, he gets blown over so easily. So for me, excuse me, for me, I think that he's a talented footballer. We're not going to see his skill set come to the forefront until he becomes physically stronger. Still has the frame of a boy, needs to grow into a man. That's going to take time. Excuse me.
Yeah, Fernando Torres is not a flop. Havertz has scored the Champions League goals, the one as the Champions League. So, and he did it at the earlier stage of his career with Chelsea. So he's never going to be a flop for me, anyways. And we just have to let Havertz grow and show us what he can do more. Because the only fact that he scored that goal in the Champions League, for me, he can never be I cannot classify him as a flop, because no one here will classify Fernando Torres as a flop. So, I'm cool with it.
All right. Anybody else want to jump in on this? Or
Yeah. He's the thing is, with Havertz, when you look at him, he's had a lot of unfortunate situations at Chelsea, like obviously when he got the COVID, and it was a bad bout of COVID that he did get at the time when he was trying to get used to a new league, etc. I've seen enough of him this season. I think I hear what Couch is saying, but this season I think he's a bit stronger than he was last season. And again, that's having he's not had a lot of games this season because of, again, injuries and illness. But for what I've seen against Liverpool the other day, I thought he obviously he's not fully fit. You can see that, but he put himself about a bit, and he was pressing very, very well. Yeah, and he'll get stronger. He always finds a way, that the boy. And I've seen enough talent in this guy to know that he will come good for us at some point.
And he was not shying away from the duel, anyways. Even if he got a kick, but he kept going. So I don't think he's just going to back away. He will gain that. I understand, Couch. He needs to gain those weight and at least to help his game. But I don't think Havertz will ever be a flop. That's for sure.
I have to lend a voice to this one as well, please, Mo.
One second, Bobby. Guys, the link is in the chat. Click on it to jump on and give us your comments and your opinions directly on the stream. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely not a flop. 21 years old, I go with MDT. This is what comes when you have young players. There's going to be the measure of inconsistency. They've got to be given time. This is the game time people are talking about. Callum Hudson-Odoi, also another one who has, you can clearly see more development to do, although he certainly has had the game time to develop. We have to be patient. This sort of microwave players that some of the fan base seem to want is not realistic, and it's not going to happen with young players like this. Havertz is not a flop. He needs more time. He's shown his potential. Even yesterday, where people say he had a bad game, I don't think he had a bad game. You can't score all the time. I just think he hustled. He did the right things. He had movement. And when it was time to come off, he came off. It wasn't his best game, but it was by no means his worst.
Yep.
All right, spot on. Cheers. Thank you for that. We conclude the messages portion of the Q&A. We now have with us the first participant who would like to give us his thoughts live on air. It's Mr. Nick Blue. Mr. Nick Blue, give me your thoughts and opinions, but start by introducing us to yourself.
Yeah, hi chaps. I'm a lifelong Chelsea supporter since the 1960s. I'm a lot older than everyone here probably, but I've been going to Chelsea all my life, and I know the history, and up to now I'm still going. And
welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream.
You trumped me, Nick. I didn't think I'd find someone who could trump me on Bobby, but you've trumped us.
Who's that? Sorry.
Well done. I said you've trumped Max. You've trumped me on Bobby.
Absolutely.
I didn't think anyone would trump us.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to say, mention the great performance yesterday at the Bridge. I was really thrilled, especially first half. We played like the old Chelsea we used to play, aggressive, non-stop, fast. It's always been in our DNA, that sort of football. Everyone played great, especially Kovačić and Conte. I think Kovačić was man of the match, especially with that great goal, the goal of the season. I'm sure it's going to be. And I can't say much, but we should have won. Thanks to Anthony Taylor again. He plays for Liverpool. And I said before the match, we're playing 11 against 12 when Anthony Taylor's there. And he showed his colours again. Otherwise, we would have won that game. Anyway, going on to, I want to say a few words about Lukaku.
I was going to ask you to say a few words about Lukaku. I want to get your perspective. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Ask me. Yeah, good.
I wanted to ask your opinion about the whole situation. I mean, we discussed it for a while, so I want to get your perspective on this.
Yeah, we've been talking about it all week since it happened. I'm against any player going out to the press and talking. It doesn't matter what it is, but I don't. Not everything was put in context. There's a lot of words were added on just to spite Chelsea, from Italy, trying to make, wind things up for Tuchel and Chelsea. But since then, I've seen him train today. I ain't got nothing against him. I was the first one who said I wanted Lukaku. Even when everyone was going Haaland in the summer, I was going to Lukaku. I was the first one to really want him back. I know what sort of player he can be. And the only thing, the problem is we have a lot of Chelsea fans hating too much. I've never seen so much hate since I've been a Chelsea supporter, on streams, on everywhere. There is a few like me who will give him a second chance, but there's a lot that want to hang him dry, which I don't understand and don't understand at all.
Do you think that what he said has been blown out of proportion? Do you think what he said was misguided? What is your opinion about what he said?
Yeah.
Well, I heard
him, when he was talking in Italy. I heard that press conference, and what he said, he was more talking about Inter Milan. He didn't say I didn't hear him say one bad word against Chelsea rather than talking about the system. But that's not a big deal. People are making out like he killed someone. They want to hang him. It's unbelievable, ridiculous, I think.
Do you think the statement that he made about him wanting to go back and play before while he's in his prime, and the Lautaro Martinez question, what's your thoughts in respect to those two answers or those two statements?
Yeah, Blue Lounge. Look, he was talking about he was saying one day I want to go back to Inter Milan, and I like to play with my pal Martinez again. But he didn't say he wants to leave now. He never said he wants to leave Chelsea. But everyone's making out like, he wants to leave, he doesn't want to be here. Me, I think 100% he wants to be here. And he was training, everyone was laughing today. You probably saw it on Twitter, I don't know if you saw it. But, everyone's happy. And Tuchel said yesterday, he said the post-match press conference, he said, we're going to see, we're going to go and talk like human beings. Talk to him. I think he was talking today with him. We don't know what was said, but like he said, he could start against Tottenham. So I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he starts against Tottenham. Okay. But I just don't like the hate he's getting from some people.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want him in the first place. They wanted Haaland. Or they wanted Kane. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, Nick Blue, I want to thank you for taking time to come on. I really appreciate it. It's really good to sorry, Max. It's really good to get the feedback and the impression of someone who's been around for a long time and has seen Chelsea through hard times as well as the successful times, because some of us just seen the success and so it's good to see all the different perspectives. Nick Blue, thank you for taking the time to come on here. Hopefully we'll see you in the future streams. Thank you.
I heard, I saw your stream quite a few times, so I didn't actually come on. But now I'm, one of your subscribers. I'll be on quite a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for subscribing.
You talk a lot of sense. Some of them just shout, and that's crazy.
Yeah, no. We try to keep it rational. We try to keep it rational. Nick Blue, thank you very much. Thanks. Take care, brother, and happy New Year to you.
Happy
Take care,
New
brother.
Year, to everyone.
Yeah. Take care, brother. Take care.
Yeah, cheers.
I
was just going to say something.
Sorry, Max. Sorry, I want to get the stance of the fans, and then I'm going to open it to you guys to give me your opinion on what we've heard from the different people who have come on. So we have Kawasi waiting. Let's just hear from Kawasi and we'll continue. Kawasi, welcome to the stream. Big up, Kawasi. How are you?
Big up. I'm very well. And big up to all the panelists. You are doing amazingly very well. Doing a great job. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be here. It's always a pleasure. Quickly, I wanted to just share a quick opinion on the Lukaku situation. I was a bit surprised to hear Lukaku say the things that he said. When he came in the beginning, if you listen to some of his interviews, he was making real sense. He was saying great things. I mean, that as fans we were happy with. But all of a sudden to switch this way and be talking this way was quite unfortunate. But what I also want to put across as Chelsea fans is that with some of these players, I have seen that when dealing with players, loyalty is a difficulty. I mean, what they look out for is they also look out for their interests first, and most of the time they have families to feed, they have families to take care of. So they first of all look at their interests, and so you see that a player has been in the team for a very long time, but he can move to the opposite side and it can be very, 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 very difficult. But I want to say, as fans, we need to look at our. We need to be a bit patient in our dealing. We need to be a bit patient, and we need to lower a bit our emotions as fans. Else, I mean, it can get us challenges in our personal lives. Lukaku's situation is very bad the way he went about it. But what I need from Lukaku is 3 points. If he can get me the goals, and if Chelsea wins, that is what I need from him. And so if he can come back and plays, if he can score, that is what I need from Lukaku. And the things he said, the things that he's saying, they are not good. I'm not happy with it as a fan. But if he can come in and score, I'll be fine with it. And I'm very sure that they will be able to manage the situation. I'm sure behind the scenes, because this issue, they have to do with PR and all that. I'm sure they will manage the situation, and you will come back and maybe apologize, and then we move on. But I want to tell the Chelsea fans that when it happened this way, we have to move on. Let's not be emotional and say that we don't need Lukaku. Lukaku must go. For Chelsea to spend this amount of money, and for a player to come in just one season, we said that go. It means that we've lost a lot of money. It means that we have misused funds. So we need to be a bit patient. That's what I would say. We need to be a bit patient. And I'm sure you will come back. I'm sure behind the scenes they are working out. When he comes back and apologize, let's support the team. Let's support him. What we need from him is the goals. If he scores for us, if we win the match, if we have 3 points, that is what we need. As for the other issues, yes, we can say things that will hurt us, all that, but we need to move forward as a team, and let's also manage to lower our blood pressure a bit and lower our distance. That's all. That's what I have to say concerning the Lukaku situation.
Kouassi, fantastic. We have to find a way to move forward. We can't keep on talking about what he said, and we have to find a solution, because right now our car is broken down and we got to fix it, because we got to continue this journey. All right. So Lukaku is a very important part of this journey, part of this vehicle. So we can either try to repair the situation, or we keep on just going backwards.
Yeah.
So big up to you, Kouassi. Thank you for your insight. Always a pleasure to have you on, mate. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. Take care, brother.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Take care,
Bye.
Kouassi.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Max Burton, you wanted to address some of the comments you've heard. Let me hear your point of view.
Yeah, no, it's just something that I saw on Twitter while the guys were speaking, and it says that the meeting between Tuchel and Lukaku went really well. And sorry, I'm just trying to bring it up now. So I was just off this Twitter page. Yeah, Tuchel and Lukaku meeting was successful. Peace has been restored between the pair, and this is via Di Marzio from Sky Italia. So
right.
If that's the case, then yeah, that's good news for us, and hopefully we can just draw a line over under this now and just try and get back to the way things were.
All right, I want to ask you guys a question. Does any of you still have access to the tools to bring people on and take the people off?
Never tried.
Right, because the thing is, I gotta go somewhere for 10 minutes, but I want to keep the stream going. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to this screen, and I'm gonna take off the link. So if people are trying to get on, they won't be able to, unless one of you guys can bring them on. And I'll let Max coordinate the discussion until I come back. You guys are good with that?
Yeah, I haven't got access anymore. I don't think to bring people in.
Okay.
We can talk between ourselves until you come back.
All right, sweet. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Sorry, guys.
We can also read the question in the chat and answer it, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right, then. So obviously, I just read that tweet about the Lukaku and the kiss and make up between manager and player. So, what's your guys' thoughts on that then?
I was going to say that having heard that that guy talk, was it Nick Chelsea? I don't know his name.
Yeah,
Nick Blue.
Yeah. Chelsea. Nick Blue. Yeah.
there is such a profound difference between old school Chelsea and new school Chelsea. I think we're far more optimistic and positively speaking about the club. Even when we have a criticism, the angle is always on the promotion of the club. And it amazes me, you know, I don't know where this sort of young group of Chelsea fans get this level of everything must be bad. We must have a bad situation. And they dwell in it. And I really think it's unhealthy. Because if you are supporting something, surely you must live for optimism. I just think we go too far into a negative hole. And this whole Lukaku situation, as bad as what he's done is bad, I think the optimism should be on him really using it to start firing on all cylinders and deliver what we bought him for in the first place. I never wanted to start with, but now he's here. I've got to support and I've got to hope that he is that forward we paid for in the first place.
Bobby, I probably represent the new school Chelsea, even though I've been a fan for umpteen years. But can I say this? Just devil's advocate. If I mentioned Marina Granovkaia, what would your opinion of her be and the board and whatnot? Because I feel like that is very similar to how some of these kids are reacting to the Lukaku situation, right? They're hurt.
Okay. I mean, I have an immediate answer for that.
Okay.
My entire focus, hope, and promotion is Chelsea Football Club. I see a danger when we start to focus on backroom staff and then start making them more prominent than the person that even owns the club and bankrolled everything, and start giving unnecessary accolades and recently awards to take the focus off the club. I think it's dangerous, and I think it has other agendas that have nothing to do with the club. And that's why I speak out on it. I look for people that come to my club and make it better. I look for people that come to my club and do good things. And once you start being part of a collapse or a negative part of the club, I will call it out.
Bobby, sorry, when you say accolades and awards, can you explain that, please? Because I'm a bit lost when you say that.
Okay, when I say
director of the year or something like that.
When I say accolades, you know, last year, or rather last season, we have a deal go through, and then we start unnecessarily praising a backroom member of staff without looking at the context with which that deal went through. Oh, this is the best in the world. Listen, no, you're doing your job. You can't take away from the club. That is my whole point.
But that's again, that's been triggered. It's been triggered by people within social media on Twitter.
Exactly,
that's what you say.
exactly.
Yeah, but it's
Exactly.
not. But it's not a club thing. It's just people's. You know, people saying, "Oh, she's done a masterclass or whatever." But again, that's just noise that you should just ignore because there's people who, you know.
Well, exactly.
But that's not down to her either, though, right?
That calling it out.
Didn't she got a word from some important people? Didn't she got a word from something?
About the
or
club.
no, that's just a backroom smoking. Didn't she got some kind of award or something?
What, this Ballon d'Or thing?
No,
She got like a director award. Like,
yeah, is that like a pretend something? Or
that's just silly awards.
That's just vibes, bro. That's just vibing. That doesn't mean anything. She wasted £300 million on rubbish players in 3 seasons.
And name me the club that doesn't do that.
I can tell you one club that doesn't do that.
Against your girl.
Suddenly
you appear. What is this? Are you a Marina United?
No. Oh, why? You can't get criticized? Why is that only your view is valuable?
The point here I'm making is that there shouldn't be. The initial question was put to me, as to why do I criticize this person and equating it to criticizing the club. And I say, no, it's not the same thing at all. I do not want a focus, an undeserved focus on somebody that has come in as an employee of the club and is simply doing their job. I was elated that Thiago Silva signed a contract today. Kudos, good job. But that's not the end of the story. It ends there. I'm not going to start looking for a director that negotiates and signs players to start giving out Ballon d'Ors to. It's politics, it's distractionary, and it's got nothing to do with Chelsea that I have supported for decades.
I think the old school feels threatened by the young, the young generations. The thing is, back then,
what do I classify? Am I young or old? I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't know.
I made sure that
it's funny, Bobby, because it was question to you was about Lukaku, but all of a sudden you went to.
Guys, yeah, I want to be managing this play. I don't want to. I don't want Mo to come back and see it in chaos. So
listen,
yeah,
I was giving my view.
Boogeyman.
Max, just tell me if I'm the old school or new school, man. That's all.
Yeah, I was giving.
You're mid school.
What have I missed? What have I missed?
I said the old school are feeling threatened by the young generation because we are on top of our computer and we can give our view faster than them. And listen, the truth is, back in the days, old school Chelsea fan, they have more human-to-human interaction. And now we come in with our power and we just flood the market. So they're feeling threatened. So listen, the old guard can hold to the fight till they can't, and we'll take over. That's all it is, man. We are here to take it over, to take everything over.
Yeah, but Boogie, you just made one mistake. You said the old schools have human interaction. That means the new schools they're not human. They have no interaction.
We don't. We're just sitting behind our computer.
Exactly.
And it makes it so easier for me. That's why we have too many information on the net.
Exactly.
That's the big difference.
That means somebody with bridging the gap between the old and new, you guys have to empathize with each other. Without the empathy, there's no connection. The new schools the new schools,
what
they
you say
think
makes
that
sense. What you say makes sense, but it's not what's going to happen. The old school just
but the thing is, this is where we have to bridge the gap. We have to bridge the gap.
How do you bridge it?
MDT, 1 second. Boogie, hold on. All right, I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. Back in the day, when we were talking about transfers, how much information did we have? And I'm going to address this, and please don't anybody be offended, but I'm going to address this to Bobby, because as far as I'm concerned, Bobby falls in that category of old school. So Bobby, please don't be offended by my question, but back in the day when we wanted to know about a particular transfer, how much information did we have to go on?
Well, definitely it goes. I mean, how far back do you go? I mean, I go back to when things were being written in black and white newspapers.
Let's go back to the 90s. Let's go back that far.
Okay, 90s. The 90s. I mean, even then, you had to rely on the tabloids. We didn't have the efficiency of Twitter. Certainly no YouTube. We barely even had the internet. That goes to show how quickly modern technology has developed.
When you wanted to discuss the transfer of a particular player, who would you be discussing it with?
I would phone up Chelsea, and there was
not you. I know what you used to do. No, I'm talking about general.
I'm talking about before Chelsea.
Bobby, you forgot about teletext as well.
I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Max, teletext.
Yeah, we had.
Yeah,
we had teletext. And what's the one on CB? There's a BBC one as well.
We had 4 channels back in the day.
Isn't it slower? Just walk there.
Yes, CFAX.
It's called CFAX and teletext. Yeah.
Isn't it slower? Isn't it slower than just walking there?
Max, remember when the club used to have that answering machine, and they'll give out all the transfer information from that?
Was it Team Talk or something?
Team Talk, that's right.
Yeah.
And you could deposit your questions
I want to clarify to Boogie what we mean by teletext. Teletext, Boogie, it was a service that was provided on TV where you'd actually read news and then you can reply or comment to certain articles via your remote control. And that was before Twitter, before
But
all that
for
kind
example, the information is controlled by just one
information.
Like that.
Yeah,
Because they're the only
is
information
always
you're
controlled.
getting, right?
Yeah, no,
now,
that-
newspapers, yeah.
the point I want to get to is the perspective and the perception and the interaction that old school fans had is different to what we're having now. The access we have. I mean, today, when I want to talk about Chelsea, I have access to a couple of thousand people who will listen to what I have to say. You guys have the same access on this platform, on other platforms. When you have an opinion, you can get your opinion out to thousands of people in seconds, millions of people in seconds. Whereas in the past, you didn't have that. Your opinion mattered to you and those who you had interaction with, and that would normally be a couple of tens of people. All right. If you were lucky, you knew a journalist and you could call him up and get him to understand a perspective. While today things are different. That's one side of old school fans, new school fans. Also, I asked Nick this, and I said to him, what is your perspective on the Lukaku situation? And the reason why I wanted to hear from Nick, not because I wanted to get another opinion, is to get his opinion, because his opinion as a person who has seen Chelsea, go through a lot of issues, a lot of problems, craziness. I've seen some of it. I've read about the rest of it. He's lived through it, so he's felt it firsthand. Okay, so for him to give me his perspective on the Lukaku thing, for me, it matters what Nick thinks, because I want to know what people of his mindset see, how they see this. And the point, and then the final point that I want to get to from all of this is every one of us, their opinion matters. Every single one of us, their opinion matters. Agree or disagree, all of us, what we say matters. All of us, what we say holds weight, especially today. No one here doesn't have access to social media. The fact that you're watching the stream, you have access to social media. You can tweet something, 4 people see it, retweet it, like it. I mean, you just have to look at the impressions on your tweet. You will get hundreds of interactions on a tweet from a small account. I have a small account on Twitter. Some of my tweets get thousands of interactions. Thousands of people see them. Unfortunately, not thousands of people interact with them by liking and whatever, but they see them. So by them seeing them, I've actually influenced their thinking. So we have to be careful what we say. We have to be aware of the impact of what we say. Unless you deliberately wanted to cause a ruckus, you got to be careful about what you're saying. And this is the mistake that Lukaku made, because he did not think how his words are going to impact the Chelsea fans, because he was trying to mend bridges with the Inter Milan fans, rightly so, because he left them in a manner which was unpleasant. So mending fences with the Inter Milan fans was something he needed to do, and I have no issue with that. However, you don't do it at the expense of the Chelsea fans, which he wasn't able to manage. He did not manage his statements correctly, and if he had consulted the club in advance, they could have given him the platform to have an interview where he could address the Inter Milan fans, but at the same time, they would tell him how to address the Chelsea fans and not put himself in the position he put himself in. So he made a mistake. Again, what we say matters. And I don't know what you guys were saying when I was gone, because I just picked up on what you guys were saying when I
as usual, Bobby complaining about Marina.
That's exactly what we're saying. We just saying.
How did you get on the stream, man? Who put you on the stream?
I thought you did it.
No, I did it. I'm just teasing him. I did it.
Alex heard
Alex, welcome.
Marina
Alex,
and
welcome.
then just popped on. It
No,
was
I
No,
was
no, no,
before that. I was
no.
before
I,
that actually.
I was leaving, and I saw him come in as I
Yeah,
was
I was
leaving.
way
So I
before
thought
that.
I'll put him on. I'll put him on.
I
Alex,
no,
Alex, hold on. Guys, 1 second, 1 second. Alex, yesterday I sent you the link. It was the first thing I did. All right, but you didn't scroll up because the link, the first thing I sent you.
I couldn't. I was
You couldn't
going
scroll
all the way
up?
to the top, and it didn't go. It didn't go. I don't know what
Why?
happened. So
That
I
might
don't know.
might
Yeah,
have been
even
a
this
glitch.
even a few minutes
No,
ago. Oh no, a few minutes ago. I was trying to come on. It keeps giving me error,
yeah.
but it wasn't with my iPhone. I don't know why. But then when
For some reason lately, it's been an issue with.
I use my other
A
iPad, and I don't.
Twitter problem. A Twitter problem. Anyway, guys, what's this from Couch?
I do want to say something about Lukaku though.
Go ahead, Alex.
Since I'm 42, and I'm assuming by mean me as
You're new school,
those
bro.
young generation of fans. I don't know if I'm as young as I can be, but look, that what frustrates me the most is the people that are actually the ones that say that like you did not want Lukaku in the first place. That's why you like have extra how you say it, like agenda. Yeah, that doesn't it really doesn't, and I can explain why. First of all, the reason why I got upset about it is because of the way he treated, not as Chelsea fans, but the way he put Tuchel into it. And the people that saying that like, yeah, he never said it, and they watched the interview, first of all, you're lying, because the full interview was never broadcasted. It's still to come. There's full interview gonna come out later. They just don't say it when. So it's still more to come, believe it. But my view on Lukaku, there's only my view. And I don't care what other people say. It doesn't matter if I like him or not as a player. But what he did is actually, it felt like a betrayal for me, especially like when you put it on the levels of Courtois. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I think he actually surpassed that level of the way he betrayed us. And the reason why he robbed me that bad, because not even a month ago, before that, when he was saying on the Chelsea TV how he wants to retire, how he thinks the Chelsea has always been the one. It haven't been that long since he was saying those words. That's why it's rubbed for me the wrong way. But if the first day when the first patch came out, it was one day, then the patch came the next day. I thought when he said it about the tactics, and like, I don't like it, but like if he will clarify it, I mean, I can go along with it. And the second page came out, and when he brought Tuchel name into it, that's when I was like, you know what? Here's the thing, and I haven't been so in the previous years as a Chelsea fan, seeing as united Chelsea fans has been on this particular subject, that Tuchel wasn't at fault for his issues, because it looked like it was more about his issues than actually Chelsea issues, and put his issues above our issues, and it wasn't felt like it was a team thing. So for me, when he said that, I don't want to lose Tuchel over it, and I know how crazy our board is, and I don't want us to lose Tuchel because of Lukaku. So when the whole thing started, Tuchel said if he will talk, he will forgive, and I was like, I'm fine with it. But that doesn't mean, if he apologized, I'm okay with it. But it doesn't mean that I can forgive him right that minute. It doesn't obligate me to forgive him at that minute. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own forgiveness period of time that they can start looking past it. So if you are offended, and I don't care who you are, if you offended more than me, if you offended less than me, if you blaming Marina, if you blaming, I don't know, whoever you can blame, but it's your personal opinion how it should be handled. And I said it before. It's my view. So if Lukaku pissed me off, he pissed me off, and I'm allowed to be mad as long as I want. It's not because of him. He apologized. He's done. For me to forgive him, it takes time. And I said, I believe in second chances. Don't get me wrong. I believe in second chances. And I think even the third chances or fourth chances, as long as he's doing it right next time and doesn't do it and doesn't do it and doesn't do it, as long as it doesn't repeat itself. And based on how he was on the media before, I knew that's one of the reasons I didn't want, because I remember him, how he was on the media at United. United fans warned us. United fans warned us how bad he was on the media. So for me, I always knew that he likes to be center of attention. He always wanted to play into his hands. He always been like that. If you look at the previous accounts or like previous things when he was talking on the Twitter and everything. But I do believe if he apologized, good for him. We move on. He's Chelsea player. We back him all the time.
Yeah, no, Alex, you're spot on. You're spot on. I mean, there are things that have to be done by the player, by the club, but each individual fan will have to do what they feel is right. So, for example, me and Bobby were speaking earlier in the stream, and we said that he needs to apologize and he needs to fix things with Tuchel. For me, as a fan, once he does that, I will not necessarily forgive him. I will agree that he can play, and we'll move on. But for me to forgive him, I need to see him perform on the pitch. That's my level. That's my standard. If he performs on the pitch and he starts
I forgot one thing.
One second, Alex. If he starts to perform on the pitch and he starts to bring success to the club, all right, it will get me closer to forgiving him. So I need to see action as well as words. Words by themselves are not enough. Now, other fans might take the apology and that is it. I'm happy. I move on, and that's fine as well. Everyone has their own level, and it's fine. Go on, Alex.
This is something I forgot to mention in it. The reason why I was upset about it specifically with that, because of the way I like Tuchel as a manager. I think he's really, really good manager. And if Chelsea before it was bad on the management, but every time we're gonna have like a problem, deep in the form and all that, this kind of things is always gonna be brought up, because to be fair, media, they're just ruthless. They're just gonna use everything, to do this little thing. And every time something didn't go well, for example, we were losing the game and Lukaku didn't play well, and there needs to be such a in the interview. The first question is gonna be about this, and it's gonna be brought up. And I don't think Tuchel deserved that as a manager. He's, what I'm saying? I just don't think he deserved that kind of treatment.
Can I just say this, though? Because I think that this needs to be just put to bed. This idea that somebody is going to, or this situation is going to lead to the demise of Tuchel. Like, the history at this club right now does not dictate that, at least the recent history, because we saw under Conte with Costa, even though the club did not agree with what Conte did, they sold Costa. With Kepa, same thing. Player power was not of the sort. Sorry, benched him for a couple games. Nothing was said of it. So this idea that because Lukaku has gone on rogue and spoken out in the media and basically done his thing, that's not going to lead to the demise of Thomas Tuchel, because they're not going to choose at this point in time. I think Tuchel has a lot more credit than Lukaku, as far as I'm concerned. The fact that he's
it's 100 million investment.
You will be surprised.
But at the same time, so you can say the same thing about Diego Costa. You can say the exact
he didn't.
same thing.
Diego Costa didn't cost. No.
But he was worth that to the club. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I don't kidding you. And it's not.
He was worth that to the club. Okay, Diego Costa at the time was our number one striker. The dollar figures, yeah, of course. Lukaku's worth 97 million or whatever.
I just disagree with you. That's all.
Okay, that's fine. You can disagree with me. I don't necessarily think that the club is going to choose Lukaku. But that's what that's what's being said. Okay, let me finish then, because what's being said, maybe not with you, but with other people, is that that this thing could lead to the demise of Tuchel because of the player power and whatnot. I don't think that exists anymore at this club. I haven't seen any history of it. Like, where is it?
It's 3 years ago.
I will tell you something.
3 years ago, yeah. And what's happened since then?
If for example, this situation with Lukaku.
Sorry, go
What do you
ahead.
mean with Lampard? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What did you
can I
say?
say something? If this situation with Lukaku didn't manage to get the dressing room properly in the right way to perform, or whatever happened, let's say for some reason Hudson-Odoi decided to criticize the system because he think the only reason why he wasn't playing good is because Tuchel also did not use him properly or something like that. I guarantee you, if we don't make the top four, someone going to be blamed of the fact that the dressing room was not controlled. It's now going to be Lukaku.
Did we say that? Did we say that when what's his face, Willian was covering up Conte with his emojis and whatnot, and he had the falling out with Luis and all that stuff? Did we say anything then? Did we see any fallout then, or did those players get ushered out of the door?
What I'm trying to say is,
that has occurred though. That exact same thing has occurred. There was a falling out with Conte, with Costa, Willian, and Luis, and those guys got ushered out the door.
No, only Costa was ushered out of the door.
Luis went not too long after.
Yeah, but it has nothing. You're not going to sack the 5 player out
2
of
seasons.
the team just to keep.
You're not 2 seasons. No. In regards to Luis, it had nothing to do with the Conte situation.
Yeah, you're never going to sack 5 players in the team.
You're still not hitting that point home, whether or not it was this year, next year, the year after. The fact is that nobody was dismissed of their job because of what has happened in the dressing room.
Yeah, but Lukaku has started something.
It's based on the results. It's based on the results. But
100%.
Yeah, but it's the same. Lukaku starts something, and the next player can take the same thing and do it. So it's all possibilities, right? Who started?
No. But the concern here is that the reason why we're worried about Tuchel because of Lukaku's actions is there is always a risk that this could cause divisions and toxicity in the back in the
Exactly.
dressing room, which would be reflected on the pitch, which would lead to bad results, and that will lead to the manager getting scapegoated.
Exactly. If Lukaku doesn't score, we're not gonna get rid of Lukaku. We're gonna get rid of manager because it's cheaper.
100%. I just don't know why. Anyways, let's just. It's
I
obvious.
don't necessarily agree with that.
Chelsea
but
has
we'll
a
see.
story of sacking manager. If fans want Tuchel to stay, you just have to make it clear and make it known that you support Tuchel over Romelu Lukaku. But what Lukaku has started can actually end up. The result is we don't perform good.
No. This is the point I made when you went for your break, and I highlighted and I said this is the difference between old school Chelsea and new Chelsea. All of a sudden, we're now in a situation where, goodness me, the sky's falling down. Lukaku's done this. We could lose Tuchel. The issue does not arise.
Sounds like I'm old school Chelsea then. Nice.
Well, you're spot on. I mean, the lines are not that strictly drawn. But what I'm just saying is that the issue does not arise. Why do we create a negative momentum out of something that is even becoming resolved? Life happens. Lukaku started his tour of apologies. Apparently, I hear, according to Sky, he has already apologized to the manager, to the board, and to the players. And I'm pretty sure very soon he'll issue an apology to the fans. I don't even see where this comes into it. Where is Tuchel's job threatened all of a sudden because of Lukaku? If Lukaku doesn't perform on the pitch, it's down to Lukaku, not Tuchel.
Congratulations, Mo.
No, Bobby, you contradict yourself.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm speaking. On a more pleasant note, the Blue Lounge has now hit 9,013 subscribers. So we've hit 9,000. Big up to everyone. Thank you all for doing that. Today on the stream, specifically on the stream, we've had 27 new subscribers on the stream. So thank you all for doing that.
Thanks, Boogeyman.
Really appreciate it. Boogeyman, go on. Take it away. What you want to say?
Can I say something after Boogie?
Yeah, after Boogie. Go ahead, Boogie.
Yeah, I don't want MTD to follow me, but okay. Listen, I just want this. If Marina signed a player and the player is not performing, it's down to the player. If I follow Bobby logics, it's down to the player. He has performed. We saw it perform good. Now it's just down to the player. But it cannot be this way. And I don't even think the fact that talking about possibility is just being negative. It's just all the options that we're just discussing, right? So at the end of the day, I can see something this guy is saying and say it is negative. I can see this guy because I don't want to join myself.
If I may please.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll mute myself.
I have never heard you speak of a positive possibility, because there is a positive possibility that Lukaku could start ripping up trees. You won't mention that. You go straight to Tuchel could lose his job.
No, I didn't.
That's the point.
I didn't mention that today.
Sorry, I got a side. Bobby, I got a side with Boogeyman here because throughout this, Boogeyman saying a positive which could come out.
Well, first of all, that was me, the one that said it, not Boogeyman. Boogeyman just
Boogeyman said it in the. No, Boogeyman said it in the previous stream.
Okay, take your flowers, Boogeyman. Take your flowers.
Yeah. So I'm sticking up for Boogeyman on this one. Yeah.
All right, can we hear from MDT? MDT has been sitting down, waiting his turn, trying to get in there. After Boogeyman, go on, MDT. Let me hear it. What you got to say?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think we are now. I was a little bit like all over the place. But to be honest, right now, it doesn't bother me. I don't know why all these emotions are high or whatever. The world is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. They all matter. So it doesn't mean that, somebody is today, whatever. Yesterday, that's the thing. The world is 3 days. So we should always look at things, whatever. We should move on. The thing is, former players are coming out to say what has happened in dressing room. Dressing room, people laugh. Lukaku, they will be making fun of him all day, all long, teammates. Lee Dixon have spoken about this. Even Craig Burley, the most negative Chelsea former player, have said it. It's not going to be a big deal in the dressing room. This is like it's like a storm on the teacup or whatever the phrase was. So fans here, we can debate it or whatever, but I believe dressing room, they deal with more things than we can imagine. This is nothing to them. They've seen it all. They've seen players come in and said, I want to do this, I want to all those whatever. People have slept with each other's wife. Things have happened worse than this. Whoa. So sometimes I know.
It's true.
Wild
allegations. It's true.
No. I'm talking.
It's a
wild allegations.
Girlfriends.
No, wives.
Captain as well.
Exactly.
So
and they had a standing ovation.
And exactly.
It was Dennis why.
Let MDT finish.
Bridge. It wasn't white.
Yeah,
John Terry.
I don't have to listen to these wild allegations.
Okay, sorry, I take it back. The dressing rooms are very resilient. Okay, what we should hope for now is to just the resilient to continue. I believe because of Lukaku is the one that stepped online, he's gonna bend over backward, and the thing is, they said he's gonna have it. They're gonna mock him. And also, as soon as the thing happened, the report about Belgium, what they were saying is he talked too much. They said that a lot. And secondly, the other one is that he will take any punishment Chelsea did, it pushed to him. And even somebody like Gabriel Marcotti, who is Italian, he didn't see it. Like when they were reading it, he said Lukaku was stupid to give the interview in Italian because he's only been speaking Italian for 2 years. Okay, no matter how good you are, he was stupid because certain words you can interpret it in different ways. So for me, this dressing room issue is not going to be an issue. Tuchel is the right man to handle this. He dealt with the dressing room in Dortmund. He has dealt with the PSG dressing room where the wives are involved in decision making. People are talking. Dressing room, Tuchel can handle this. This is not a big deal.
Can I have 2 minutes? Can I have 2 minutes?
This is not a big deal.
Just had a minute before MDT.
No, can I have 2 minutes?
Listen.
No, please.
Wait. Hold on. Boogie, 1 second. When did I give you the policeman role, Alex? Let people talk. Let people talk. Go on, Boogie.
No, I just want to. Yeah, I know. I was just telling Bobby. Maybe he didn't really understand my position on Lukaku. I do not think Lukaku has done anything wrong. Let me just put it out. For me, Lukaku has a freedom of speech. He can speak. He speak his mind the way he wants to. And I think the emotional fan are the one creating all those noise. But I understand. Me, I'm not emotional a fan. I'm not. I don't have any personal connection to Lukaku. So me, Lukaku, whatever he done he did it, and I agree with whatever he said. The only thing I'm saying is now that I know what Lukaku is thinking, then I know how to judge Lukaku in the future. So, but I still think fans like me are not the only fan that Chelsea have. The emotional fan have the problem. They be hurt. They feel like Lukaku betrayed them. They have to be taken into consideration. We have to give him time to heal properly. If Tuchel need to sanction Lukaku to bring those fans in it, that's Tuchel. But me, even if someone asks me, is Lukaku going to start Tottenham game? If it's just me, Lukaku he was supposed to play Liverpool game. If you ask me, he should play. If we boo him, he should stand and handle it. He started.
Hold on, Boogie. Okay, I understand a lot of what you said, but this is why I have to stop you. Had Lukaku have played against Liverpool, had Lukaku have had a bad game, had Lukaku have missed a chance, had Lukaku had the fans boo him, had there been an issue, it would have set us back in resolving this problem. However, Tuchel did the right thing, and Tuchel said there is too much noise around this whole thing. Let's put it aside. There's too much noise around this whole thing that it's going to impact the Liverpool game. Let's put it aside. Lukaku, have a rest. We'll talk about this after the game. And that's what we did.
I do not disagree with Tuchel. I'm okay with whatever Tuchel will decide. But I'm just thinking how I thought the thing should be handled. Tuchel decided to go different way because he took into account the fact that there's a lot of people that feel betrayed, the fan and all that. If they would do too emotional problem involved by that point, too much noise, like he called them. So for me, Lukaku should start and play, and we boo him, and he has to be there and handle it. And I'm just happy that when I criticized Lukaku in the past, people tell me, no, Lukaku has some ties to Chelsea. I should not be saying those things. And I'm happy those people are telling me, now that they convinced Lukaku does not even think that Chelsea is that important, that we all at the same level. That's all I keep saying since some time. So I just want Bobby to understand that. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Today, when you go on the pitch, everyone in that stadium salutes you with applause, with songs, with chants. When you score, the uproar, the emotion, the atmosphere for you today. Tomorrow, you go on that pitch, you score, and no one is clapping. No one is saluting. No one is giving you any emotion. That in itself is more important than anybody booing, anybody swearing, insulting. Do you know why? Because when he is on that pitch and he's playing and he doesn't get the respect and the acknowledgement that he was getting yesterday, do you know what he's going to want to do? He's going to want to change that back to how it was. And that will be the force that drives him to succeed.
Yeah, that's what I want.
But you see, that's the thing. You're talking about, he should have played and gotten, let the fans boo him, let the fans do this. No, because you don't want to make this whole thing get blown bigger.
I don't want him to be booed at the stadium. You can't boo.
Listen.
I'm not gonna boo him.
Alex. It's not about booing. It's about what we want to achieve. What do we want to achieve? We want to achieve success. Now, I would rather do things to push him to play better than to make him unhappy and want to leave. If he doesn't perform end of the season and we sell him, or we find another way to deal with him, okay, we'll do that. But let's not push him to failure. Let's push him to success, because if he succeeds, we succeed. If he fails, we fail. We are still a team. We are still a unit.
I understand that. But do you think there's that possibility that Lukaku starting the Liverpool game, score 1 or 2 or 3 goals, and then even the fan that went there to boo Lukaku starting uploading him? It's a possibility.
No,
So
Doesn't matter. Why put ourselves in that situation? Why even put ourselves in that situation?
It's
There's
the
no
same
point.
thing. Why
like a
did he
Disney
give an
movie,
interview
man.
in the first place? Why would you put yourself in?
Yeah,
the
but it
first
doesn't matter.
and then
Redneck. Sorry. What's your real name? I always
Alex.
forgot.
Alex.
Alex. Yeah, Alex. Lukaku did it. Lukaku, the law of the land allow him to do it. Lukaku didn't kill anybody. I think Lukaku has more courage.
Boogie, he killed my spirit.
Okay, sorry.
My Chelsea blue spirit, he
Lukaku
killed
have
it.
the right to speak his mind. He spoke his mind. His mind has spoken. We know exactly why
And
Lukaku
we are
thinks.
the same. We are allowed
but
to feel the way we feel because
I
he
don't
said
mind it. I don't mind it. But my
No,
point is this.
Boogeyman, let me just respond to you quick here. If
Okay.
someone is racist in his mind, is he allowed to speak his mind publicly?
Freedom of speech, yeah, but there is a law that limit that freedom of speech, yeah.
Okay, there is also law that limit as well, and I'm pretty sure there is a policy at Chelsea that you're not
Yeah,
supposed
it is. It is.
and put the club on the line like that. Because what he said
All right,
does
can I
not
say
limit
something?
the club
The
at
law-
all.
Policy
One
does not
second,
put
Max.
laws.
1 second, Max. 1 second, Max. Hold on, guys. Could Chelsea fine Lukaku for doing what he did?
Yes, it actually.
Okay.
And if it is in a
Yeah,
contract.
hold on.
Totally.
Chelsea can fine him, can punish him, could take a lot of legal action against him. Correct? They could. Correct?
I don't think
Yes,
so.
on a contract, yes.
Hold on. They can. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying they can. Therefore, what he did was breach of something. Because if Chelsea can do this, then they have to do it based on something.
But
So
Chelsea
he
has to prove it, though.
Oh,
They don't have to prove it. It's there. Everyone can see it. It's not like did he do that? Did he do the interview? All right, guys, did he do the interview or was we dreaming? He did the interview. We don't need to prove nothing.
No,
Hey, Matlock, it's time to
no.
go to commercial, man. It's time to go to commercial, Matlock. What are you talking about?
Then when
You
I
have to prove
then,
it.
no.
What's
Then
going
when
on
I
here, man?
yeah no. Hey, you see, you don't pay attention. That's you all. My point is this: Lukaku says stuff. Yeah, he says stuff. But which one of those things is Lukaku breaching any contract? I don't see any.
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
Do you know where it was? Where it was?
What?
The minute he opened that door and he let that journalist in, he breached his contract before he even said a word out of his mouth because he's not allowed to have that interview
Lukaku
without the
cannot
consent of the club.
I understand.
No,
so
he
Lukaku
can't.
cannot
He
walk in
can't.
the mall, meet a journalist, and talk to him. Talk to the
No.
journalist.
On the record, no.
Not on
On the record, no.
About
On the record, no.
About Chelsea.
On the record, no. On
He's
the
not
record,
allowed
no.
to talk about Chelsea.
Well, yeah.
He's not allowed to talk
Matlock,
about
time to go to
Chelsea.
commercial, man.
And here's,
Come on.
no. Here's the thing about what people misunderstand. When
I
usually
don't
person
misunderstand.
have apologized to the different club for leaving, it's usually on the Instagram. And it's called the open letter. He didn't have to go on live on the TV in front of cameras. He did not have to, but he chose to. As a matter of fact, if the things are true, what? Okay, Boogeyman, tell me when the last time the player that left our club went on a live TV, not live TV, on the video and start apologize to the previous. Because before that, all I saw is the letter. It's called open letter.
The semantic is is Lukaku allowed to talk to any journalist without the approval of Chelsea? Yeah.
Not
It's a
about
freedom. That's
Chelsea.
his freedom.
Not about Chelsea.
Lord.
Look,
It's
Boogie,
not the freedom, it's-
Boogie. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay. You work for an organization.
Yeah.
You work for an organization. Are you permitted to go and talk to a journalist about your organization and things that relate to the organization without their permission? Are you allowed to do that?
It depends on what I said.
Da-na-na-na.
Yeah,
Now
but
it's not
that's
commercial
no.
break.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I have the right to talk to them. It's not the punishment being talking to them. It's and then I don't see anything.
You have
said,
the right to talk to them.
But I
All right,
don't
but
see anything
after you
Lukaku
talk to
said
them,
that
after you
is
talk to them,
breaching anything. That's
they
what
will
I'm saying.
they will publish the interview with Boogeyman, and then you will tell. Then I will call you 2 days later and I'll ask you, do you still work for that company? And what are you going to say to me?
I'm looking for new company.
Exactly.
Then we don't
Exactly.
understand each other. If I reveal any of secret information of my company, if I reveal the program that we're using, if I reveal anything or whatever we're doing, I put myself, because I sign it in how do you call that? I can't
Let
remember.
me
I sign it in
NDA.
NDA, whatever. I signed it that I should never talk to any competitor. I should never do this. I should never. Yeah, it's clear.
Do you know?
innit?
Do you know something? Do you know something?
see- I don't
The
see-
comparison, the comparison is a little bit wrong. The comparison is a little bit wrong because you are to the company. You to the company is like the management staff, the coaching staff, the physio. That's what you are to the company. Lukaku to Chelsea is not of that level. Do you know what Lukaku is to Chelsea?
An investment.
Lukaku is an asset. It's not only an investment; he's an asset. So when your assets that you have spent £1 million on is going to go against the grain or against the direction of the company, that is an asset of 100 million that you could potentially lose. And the issue is here. What he did as an asset. Boogie, do you know how much it would cost us to refurbish Stamford Bridge? To add more seating. To add more seating, to expand. A few million pounds. 3 or 4 Lukakus. That is how big an investment Lukaku is. That's how much Chelsea have put in, because instead of spending that money on increasing the capacity.
I think what Boogeyman trying to say is, yes, he can meet anybody he wants and talk with anybody he wants. It is freedom of speech, but he cannot talk about the Chelsea without permission of Chelsea.
Talk about the Chelsea
Because it's his contract. It's his employee.
I can tell
Assad,
you guys.
who's who's Assange? Not what's that guy that in prison? Yeah, you know who he is.
Whatever.
This is what happens when you
Julian.
talk about somebody else. Yeah, that's what happens when you talk about somebody else's job. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That guy
Boogie,
secrets.
you have freedom. You have freedom to talk. You have freedom to speak. But there is context. There is limitations. There is. For example, on this channel, there are things that I would not allow us to speak about. I will not allow you guys to go onto topics of a certain nature, not because they're going to impact me or my job. No, it's going to impact the community, the channel. So there is always going to be guidelines and going to be borders that we need to remain within. And Lukaku, as a Chelsea player, he can't do that. Lukaku, once he retires, he has the right to talk about whatever he wants, and nobody's going to say nothing to him. I made a mistake when I left Inter Milan. Inter Milan have the best pizzas, they have the best lasagnas, they have the best fans, they have the best streets, they have the best stadiums. Chelsea, they have.
I understand that, but
small stadium. Chelsea, whatever he wants to say, I don't care. I don't care what he wants to say.
I understand.
The thing is, look, Boogie, there is consequences to what you talk about in relation to the time and in relation to where you are in that time. Right now, at this point in time, he's a Chelsea player.
The timing is wrong. It creates noise. But what exactly he said that make him breach any contract? I just don't see anything he said that we didn't know outside already. I just don't see it.
Here's what he said.
I'm not happy with the system. I'm not happy with the system. Lautaro Martinez, don't come to Chelsea. I'm going over there.
That's his opinion. When Lautaro Martinez wants to come, what's the problem?
Because by him saying that, an asset that's worth 100 million, by him saying that, other clubs will think that this guy is unhappy, therefore we can get him for a cheaper price, therefore he's devalued £100 million asset. That's just one way of looking at things. I mean, there's a million things that he did wrong.
I understand what you guys say. I understand what you guys say. I know what I'm thinking, and listen, it's good.
No. I think you're thinking about the freedom of speech, like we not allow Lukaku to talk. I think that's what you think.
you have to respect the interest of the organization you're part of.
Exactly.
What if Chelsea are
Exactly.
interested in Martinez? You're just telling him, "Oh, don't come to Chelsea." That's against the interest of the organization you're part of.
Not only that, he's also devalued himself in the eyes of Chelsea. Like he's lowered his value to the club because he's gone out and spoken the way he has. He's no longer the same value.
I will say Lukaku missing goal devalue his value.
That
also.
too.
And
That
he's not
too.
going to
But
be.
the fact
He's
that
not
he-
going to be punished by.
But
for
the
that.
fact that he's gone out and purposefully gone out and devalued himself in
How
front
do you
of the
prove
world,
the intent?
the intent is there.
Oh yeah, God, thank you.
The intent's not there.
How do you prove it? Hey, Lukaku say I went there. I didn't mean to hurt anybody.
We tied him up. We put the gun to his head and
Couch. Hold on. No. There's a difference. Intent is not something that we can determine. Intent to disrespect Chelsea, to devalue the asset, we cannot determine that. We can't. Because firstly, we haven't.
It has to be proven.
Intent's not. I agree with you. Intent. If I was to watch the full interview, and I am able to understand Italian, then I will have an insight in respect to the intent. I could determine maybe yes, maybe no, but I haven't seen the interview yet. I can't speak Italian now. All right, so therefore, I am not in a position to determine intent. Now, I also don't think intent was there. I don't think intent was there because we have to also take his word in respect to what he has said about Chelsea. You see, you can't take a person's actions over an hour interview to define his whole legacy. What he said in that interview is wrong. But what he has also said in the past should also be taken into consideration when we are talking about this person. His profile, one second. Of course. No disagreement. But if we talk about intent and be able to state that his intent was to do all of that, then he cannot make an apology that we're going to accept. He cannot have action that we're going to accept, because if that was the case, then as far as I'm concerned, he's done. Therefore, we can't determine intent as of yet. Maybe something comes out that can determine that, and then when that thing does come out, then we will address the situation from that perspective. But right now, I can't determine intent, so I will back Boogeyman on this, but I don't back him on the other things, Boogie. So I'm just saying, just that one.
Like he basically just gave you back your socks, man. All your clothes are gone right now. I mean,
listen. There's a people.
You know what? I can't believe you guys let Boogie use legal terms to maneuver you guys, because intent. He just maneuver you guys over legal terms. Unbelievable.
There's a people in the chat that don't like the conversation. Let's just find something else. But they say Boogie should know.
How do you guys feel about Conte coming back to Stamford Bridge? Are you guys gonna applaud him? Are you guys gonna?
I will boo him if I was there.
Hey, you said we're not booing no one. You said we're not booing no one, Alex.
Player. I'll not no. Player. I don't care how much of Lukaku what you did, but I ain't booing him. There's no purpose of booing Lukaku at the stadium. There's literally no purpose.
So we'll boo Conte.
I'll boo him. I loved him when he came first.
No.
But then
listen. Conte is the reason why we won a Premier League. We won our last Premier League with Conte. And I think we lost the FA Cup as well.
I won't boo him.
I like to hear Bobby and MDT. It was MDT that was telling me I didn't really take into consideration all the factor because when it comes to Conte, I'm just lying with Alex. I love the man when he is the celebration, the first season.
Boogie, I'm going to interrupt you. For 1 second. This guy, Wally Waldo. I've been reading your comments in the chat, mate. I think today is the first time you've actually subscribed and started commenting. I'm really enjoying your comments, and welcome on board. Some great comments, great feedback. So big up to you, Wally. Nice one, mate. Sorry, Boogie, carry on.
I just said I've loved Conte. When we signed him, we come from the Italian national team. In the way he adapted, we were frustrated when we played against Arsenal. I think we were beating 3-0 in the first half or 2-0 in the first half. Like he changed the system just to control the game a little or control our defense or whatever it is. We end up losing that game if I remember properly. And then after that, done. Conte just put his stamp on the team. I love him what he has done, and we won the league and celebrate. His celebration were just amazing. I mean, we were distant fans, and we just love it. The energy, we can feel it when Conte is on the line, touch line. But then this whole thing happened with Costa, with all those things. Then the love I have for the man is just turned into hate. And up to today, I didn't manage to turn that to. It still hates. I just can't turn it back. For like, I have zero respect for him for some reason. That's me at this point, news. But I will never boo him.
The way the first year, he was such a big fresh of air for me. I was for him the way I want all those players out. The one that did not how you said went with Conte, but what he did later during the second season was, I can tell that he was doing out of spite, because there's no way somebody can do it with not out of spite. Those things, starting lineups and all that. So for me, I wouldn't boo him. I take it back. I wouldn't boo him, but boo him if I was there. But it's just, it is what it is.
Julius, coming on this, I think you want to say something on this.
Yes, I loved Conte as a player before. When he came to Chelsea, I had so much affection to him, and he was my favorite manager of all time. At some point, after even especially with what he's done with Juve, taking them from 7th till Serie A champions. One of the biggest reasons why I am always against the board specifically is Conte. It's actually that Conte sack that ended my respect, or kind of not respect, the trust between me and how the club makes decisions. So that Conte era was really crucial for me on a personal level, on how I see us going forward and how much I trust the club with building a team and sustaining the team. So, but what he's done going to Tottenham, you know how when you love someone so much and that love turns out to become so much hate? I don't like Conte anymore. I know Chelsea did not treat him well, and they did not back him. They bought him rubbish players when we sold Costa, and who else did we sell? Matic, I think, and we ended up getting Bakayoko and Morata and whatever. So he got frustrated with that, and he could not sustain the success. And this is where I am also frustrated with the same thing that happened with Thomas Tuchel this year. So, but to go to Spurs, it kind of show, and even going to Inter, honestly, as well. Like, you're a Juve legend, man. Like, to go to Inter, like, come on, and now you go to Spurs. It just showed me that he's a person with no principles in a way.
Principles? It's a job, man.
No. Because Ancelotti said, I will never coach a club that is in the same city of a club I coached before. At the end of the day, you need to have some principles. For him, it doesn't matter. I'm talking as a fan. I'm not a football manager. As a fan, that for me is a person who doesn't have enough principles or values.
I just think it's a job.
No, that will kill the spirit of the game. If we're gonna normalize these things, that works in North America, Couch. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't actually. It's not about that. So are you the type that if a player played for another team, they can't play for Chelsea? Or are you the type that, like, if you see Mo Salah celebrating a goal, you're gonna be upset because Mo Salah celebrated a goal?
Mo Salah doesn't mean anything to me because he never achieved anything at Chelsea. But for example, when Lampard,
you see the line of my questioning, then, right? Like, it's just, where does it end? Mo Salah didn't celebrate his goal the other day, and people gave him respect for that. I'm like, why? He's not really a Chelsea.
No, I don't care about Mo Salah. But for example, when Lampard scored against us, even though Lampard I love him. I will never be against him or hate him. He's my favorite player. But at that time, when he scored against Chelsea, I don't know how you felt.
It was painful. It was
I
painful.
was mad. I was
painful.
You know, like it was. If I'm gonna normalize these things and say it's a job, that kills the spirit of the game.
I don't think that I have the same attachment to managers that you do. As there's only so many different jobs.
I think Mourinho is the closest.
You're right. Lampard did burn me. I'm not going to lie to you. It really, really stung, especially the stakes to that. Like it hurt. But when you're going to say managers, the amount of jobs that there are in top management and whatnot, you're going to say, well, you can't work in this city because you've already worked there before. Like,
come on, well, why would you go to Spurs? Like Conte going to Spurs doesn't make sense.
What about Mourinho, Julius? What about Mourinho?
Same thing as well. Like I used to love him as well.
I think Mourinho was more betraying than
yes.
Conte.
I would say that.
Because like for me, with the managers goes to a different club, it's kind of like, first of all, he got fired, so. It's not like he left on his free will, you know what I'm saying? He got fired, so I don't think the minute you get fired from the job, you kind of go anywhere you want. With the players, it's a little bit different. For example, you know, plus, if we had the manager that been like Sir Alex Ferguson for 10 years at Chelsea, I will be upset if he goes to Tuchel or to Tottenham. But I don't think Chelsea have any grounds on that we build such a strong relationship, but Mourinho and Long, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's a little bit different with the managers. With the players, it's a different story. With the managers, it felt weird with Mourinho, but I think Mourinho already lost his mind a long time before that. So I don't even. He literally lost his mind. The guy
MDT, tell me a little about the thing. You said I didn't really. MDT is not here anymore, right?
Oh yeah. No, I'm here.
You said something like I'd need to take more in consideration or something, but you didn't finish your idea. What were you trying to say?
Okay, no, I was talking about the Costa situation. Okay, the Costa situation is not only Conte's situation. Costa situation started under Mourinho. So people, because Conte's behavior was wrong. Okay, for me, Conte is twofold. Like Julius, before when I was a kid, I was more of a Juventus fan than what I used to not like English football because they never used to play football. They used to keep the ball in the air, and I didn't like that. So that's why I whatever. So that's why I didn't become a Chelsea fan until Ruud Gullit came and changed the football. So I was a Juventus fan growing up. So Conte was like a hero for me. Going to Inter, that's when everything done with when it comes to like that side of it. But like management is a good manager, and also as a Tottenham manager, I don't like him anymore on that football part. But I cannot blame him on everything on Chelsea. He has his flaw. Nobody's gonna sit here, whatever. He fall out with the board, and he did a lot of things which he shouldn't have. But the Costa situation, the mistake he did is sending that text. But Costa wanted out of Chelsea since we won our first title. That's why he followed with Mourinho that summer. He came back fat, didn't look after himself. People forgot all of that. There are a lot of problems with this situation. It didn't start with Conte. It started the first season we won the league. So let's not blame Conte for Costa. Costa wanted out since a long time ago. And also, I didn't blame Costa as well, wanted to go to China. He saw an opportunity that would change his family's life. Okay, and he told all of his teammates, they understood in the dressing room. Conte wasn't happy about it, the club wasn't happy about it, but Costa told everybody, I want to go. This is an opportunity to change my life forever. Okay, so for me as a fan, I wasn't happy, but as a human being, I understood, because this is an opportunity for the guy to change the trajectory of his entire generation and generation ahead. So who am I to tell that person not to do it when we live in a capitalist society? So I will be a hypocrite. So, but we shouldn't blame managers for Costa. Costa wanted out from when he signed for Chelsea. He missed Atletico immediately. Who wouldn't? Because the weather here is not great, is it? So I don't blame him. But although as a Chelsea fan, I was disappointed. But for Conte, no, Conte is not loyal. He's never been. For me, if you can leave Juventus for Inter, that's worse than anything. Juventus and Inter, their problem. Julius, if you can remember when they debated in the Italian Parliament in 96, that the Ronaldo penalty was debated in Parliament. People fight over this Juventus Inter situation. Okay, so for Conte know all that, the history between these two clubs, him and Pepe Morata, they left Juventus and went to Inter. They start this Inter, the whatever. For me, I don't like Tottenham manager. I don't like Inter managers. So
yeah, but
I don't like Conte because
like
of
MVT, like you remember what the situation was like when he left to Juventus, right? You remember what that was like, right?
Yeah, but he walked out.
Yeah,
He
so
walked
he
out.
didn't want to. So obviously he had a falling out with the board.
No, guess what happened? Juventus that time, they were coming back. Oh yeah, Juventus family, the Agnelli family, they're one of the richest in the world. They're wealthy. Okay, yeah. But guess what? Conte wanted more money. They said no, they have to spend accordingly. Conte said, I cannot, you cannot give me 100 euro and expect me to go and dine in a 1,000 euro restaurant. That's what he replied. And he walked out. Julius, you can remember, is it 1 week before the season starts? 1 week before the season starts. He walked out of Juventus without a manager. They went and got Allegri. He walked out of Juventus 1 week before the season started.
He even swore at Agnelli.
So what makes you think that he has some sort of allegiance to Juventus after all of that?
Because he played there for 10 years. He was their captain.
He won a Champions League with them.
No, I get it as a player. That's one thing. I understand what you guys are saying, but he obviously left unceremoniously and in a lot of turmoil. So him going to Inter for me is not really.
All right, Alex. Thank you very much, mate.
Really
I just feel like
take care, brother. Take care, Alex.
I just feel like Conte has no, how do you say this? Does not like to negotiate. Yeah, not just that, but he doesn't like find a gray area between two positions. He's just like, it's my way or I'm getting out of this one.
Exactly.
And someone is like that. We should. Yeah.
Let me give you an example. What Conte did to Juventus. Imagine John Terry becoming a Chelsea manager, winning 3 trophies, and then the board said, we cannot give you this amount of money. This is what we have. John Terry walking out of Chelsea. Walking out of Chelsea. A few years later, is the Tottenham manager.
You mean like Mourinho?
Yeah.
No, John Terry. That's what Conte means to them, to Juve. Like, imagine John Terry goes to Spurs as a coach and gives the middle finger to
these are all like again, you're putting the character of the man of John Terry to the character of like it's just so weird. Like
no, it's not.
I can't classify the two.
No, we're talking about captain leading a club for how many years, winning everything with them. You are like part of the fabric. You are that club, the history, everything. If you can do that,
giving the middle finger to Paratici at the time, like, what the hell, man? Imagine John Terry does that. How would you feel about as a Chelsea fan? That's what it means in Juve. That's the hatred between Juve and Inter is crazy. You know, like it's religion.
Anyways, listen,
I got to bug off, but it was a good chat. Good 2.5 hours.
It's been fantastic. It's been fantastic. And you know what, lads? I'm gonna end the stream because I gotta go and do a couple of things. Tomorrow we will be doing the match preview. There has been a lot of developments in respect to Romelu Lukaku. I have posted on the screen all the tweets from Matt Law, from Fabrizio Romano. Go check them out because it looks like tomorrow in the press conference, Thomas Tuchel will be giving us a heads up in respect to what has transpired. We will be getting a lot of information in that press conference tomorrow. So we'll be discussing that in our match preview tomorrow evening. Same time as usual, 7 p.m. UK time. I want to see you guys back here for that. It's going to be a very interesting match preview. A lot to discuss. A lot has happened over the past couple of days. And I have a feeling a lot more will happen over the next couple of days. So thank you all for being part of the stream. Big up to everyone. Big up to all the new subscribers. It's been a pleasure having you guys on. We've actually surpassed the 9,000 mark by 20. So we're on 9,020 subscribers. So thank you all for doing that. Much love.
9,020 on top of it.
On top of it, yeah. 20 new subscribers on top of 9,000.
That's amazing.
So that's wicked.
Thanks, Boogeyman. Thanks, Boogeyman.
Yeah, Boogeyman.
The amount of computers you got going there right now, man. Keep it going.
All right, listen. Much love, much love. We've made a lot of friends, a lot of new friends on the stream today. Some old ones have also come back, so it was nice to see them in the chat as well.
We love our old fans. We love them. We love them.
Yeah, we love everyone. We love everyone on this channel.
Someone say Boogeyman is talking like he's young. Yo, you lucky that I cannot swear on Mo Kasim channel.
Yeah, man. All right, listen. Let's keep it nice. And let's say goodbye. All right, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.
Couch Julius MDH. Cheers, guys.